Chapter 2190. But how do I inform you? Yang Ming was a little puzzled. It's so far away. Does Sun Sikong have other ways to contact me? Since I can receive the signal from your glasses, you can naturally receive the signal I send you. It's just that I haven't used this function yet. Sun Sikong smiled and said, when there is a call, I will inform you and send a flying saucer to pick you up to answer the call. Ah. Yang Ming was slightly stunned and immediately said gratefully, thank you so much, Grandpa's son. It's nothing. In fact, assisting you is what I should do. It's just that my previous research direction was on these application-type technological products. If I were like Dr. Benjamin, specializing in improving the potential of the human body, then it would not be a problem to help you deal with elder you. Sun Sikong said with some regret. Yes. Yang Ming nodded. With Sun Sikong's ability, it was not difficult to study these, but it was not something that could be done overnight, so Yang Ming did not ask him to change his field to study these. Of course, even if it was requested, Sun Sikong's equipment here was limited. There was no way to start the research. Grandpa's son, then we will leave first. Yang Ming hesitated and did not call home again. After all, he had just called before, and there was nothing important. Yang Ming naturally would not call again, even if he missed them. Okay, I will inform you as soon as I have news, said Sun Sikong. After the phone call, Yang Ming, Lan Ling, and Xia Shui left. The longer they stayed here, the easier it was to arouse Elder Yu's vigilance and suspicion, so Yang Ming drove back after finishing his business. In the past few days, Yang Ming and Lan Ling had been waiting for news from Grandma Lan. Although they knew that news couldn't be obtained overnight, they still couldn't help but feel a little anxious. Songjiang City, Huashang District, Yang Ming's villa. Jing Xiaolu came home from work, but she was a little anxious and nervous because today was her birthday. After Jing Xiaolu became the company's chairman, it was naturally impossible for her to celebrate her birthday with her colleagues. The people who knew Jing Xiaolu's birthday were only a few people who were close to Jing Xiaolu in the past. Other people did not know about Jing Xiaolu's birthday at all. Luan Xiaoru happened to be a colleague who knew Jing Xiaolu's birthday. At that time, when Jing Xiaolu first came to the company, Luan Xiaoru took care of her. Of course, since Jing Xiaolu became the vice president, she also transferred Luan Xiaoru to her office to be responsible for her secretary's work. Luan Xiaoru used to do similar secretarial work, so she was familiar with helping Jing Xiaolu. However, today was Jing Xiaolu's birthday. Luan Xiaoru wanted to celebrate Jing Xiaolu's birthday. They agreed to go to Jing Xiaolu's home, but Jing Xiaolu was now living in Yang Ming's home. Although she was the company's chairman outside, she could only be regarded as a small little wife at home. Chen Mengyan and Sun Jia were the decision-makers. She did not dare to bring her colleague home. However, it was not possible to go out to celebrate her birthday because they had agreed before that Chen Mengyan and others would celebrate Jing Xiaolu's birthday at home. So Jing Xiaolu had no choice but to bring Wan Xiaoru home, but she had to ask Chen Mengyan and Sun Jia, Xiaolu, what's wrong with you? Today is your birthday. Why do you look unhappy? Chen Mengyan looked strangely at Jing Xiaolu, who was obviously a little uneasy, and asked. Sister Mengyan. Jing Xiaolu stopped talking. She was very cautious at home. She did not have the previous arrogance and confidence in the company. She felt that it was very good to be recognized by Sun Jia and Chen Mengyan. She never thought that she could have a say at home. What's wrong? Chen Mengyan frowned. If you have something to say, just say it. Why are you so hesitant? Actually, the matter is like this. I have a good colleague who wants to celebrate my birthday, but my sisters at home have prepared for me today. I can't go out to eat, but she wants to come home to help me celebrate my birthday. I don't know if I should let her come. Jing Xiaolu said carefully. Is this the case? Chen Mengyan couldn't help but laugh after listening. This is not a big deal. Since she is your good colleague, then let her come home. Then your identities. Jing Xiaolu didn't know how to introduce Chen Mengyan and the others to Wan Xiaoru. After all, Wan Xiaoru should not know the relationship between Yang Ming and Chen Mengyan and the others. Although Wan Xiaoru already knew that Yang Ming was the actual chairman of Ming Yang Entertainment, this was a matter that was publicized before, so Wan Xiaoru was not surprised that Jing Xiaolu took over as the chairman. In her opinion, Jing Xiaolu was Yang Ming's girlfriend, so it was reasonable for her to manage the company. But the relationship between Chen Mengyan and Yang Ming was not easy to explain. You are talking about this. Anyway, Yang Ming is not here. You can just introduce us as your good friends. Chen Mengyan smiled indifferently. We will also pretend to be guests and celebrate your birthday at home with you. Thank you, Sister Mengyan. Jing Xiaolu said very emotionally. She didn't expect Chen Mengyan to agree to her request so quickly. She was also willing to be a foil, which made her very surprised. For a long time, Jing Xiaolu was a little cautious in front of Chen Mengyan. After all, she had a bad record. When she was in the cafeteria, she had offended Chen Mengyan. Moreover, she had other boyfriends before. Although they could not be considered boyfriends, their character was not very good, so Jing Xiaolu did not dare to mention anything inappropriate in front of Chen Mengyan. What is there to thank? We are a family. Besides, today is your birthday. You are the boss. Chen Mengyan smiled and said, You call your colleagues to come. I will talk to the others. We will all be your friends. Okay. Jing Xiaolu nodded happily. You don't look like a chairman at all. I don't know how you convince the people in the company. Chen Mengyan shook her head and smiled bitterly. You look at Sister Sun Jia. She looks like a chairman. Jing Xiaolu was a little embarrassed. Isn't it because of the help of Yang Ming's two men? If Brother Bao and Brother Ho weren't here to help, how could I control the situation? I'm so busy today. Sister Mengyan, why don't you talk to Sister Sun Jia and ask her to help me? Anyway, her company in Donghai has been handed over to Tian Donghua to manage. She has nothing to do. Oh. Chapter 2191. Although the company was left to Jing Xiaolu by Yang Ming at that time, Jing Xiaolu didn't want to take the company for herself since she moved to the villa. Since everyone was Yang Ming's woman, they all had the same weight and goal, so these things were everyone's. Then, I will talk to Sister Sun Jia. I don't know if she can help. Chen Mengyan and Lin Jiyun were still working in Zhang Bin's jewelry company, so they didn't have time to help Jing Xiaolu. At present, only Sun Jia was free. Okay, thank you, Sister Mengyan. I am going to make a call. Jing Xiaolu ran to call Wan Xiaoru happily. Sister Xiaolu, you finally called me. My boyfriend and I have bought the gifts. We were just waiting for your call. Wan Xiaoru's voice came from the phone. Although Jing Xiaolu was now the chairman, Wan Xiaoru still called her sister Xiaolu in private. She only called her Miss Jing or Chairman Jing in the company. This was also Jing Xiaolu's request. Otherwise, she only had one friend in the company. If she called her so formally after work, then they couldn't play together. I am at home. Because there will be a lot of friends at home today, I prepared in advance. Jing Xiaolu said, Your boyfriend is coming too. Isn't he very busy? No matter how busy he is, he has to come for your birthday. He has to come. Wan Xiaoru said with a smile, Where are you? Let's drive over now. In the Huashang district, the first villa in the villa area. It's called Sun Moon Residence, said Jing Xiaolu. Jing Xiaolu wasn't familiar with Luan Xiaoru's boyfriend. In her memory, she had only seen him once or twice. Moreover, it was when he went to the company to deliver things to Luan Xiaoru. At other times, he was nowhere to be seen. She didn't expect that he would have time to attend her birthday party today. Okay, got it. Let's drive over now, said Luan Xiaoru. On Chen Mingyin's side, she had also explained everything properly. Everyone would attend the birthday banquet as Jing Xiaolu's classmates, business partners, and good friends. They would be guests at that time, and Jing Xiaolu would be the owner of this villa. Of course, no one had any opinion. After all, Jing Xiaolu only celebrated her birthday once a year. Everyone's purpose was to make her happy. Everyone's relationship with Yang Ming was known to themselves. There was no need to tell everyone. Soon, there was the sound of the doorbell at the door of the villa. Jing Xiaolu quickly ran over and opened the door of the villa. Sure enough, she saw Luan Xiaoru standing at the door, and her boyfriend had not gotten out of the car yet. He was parking the car in the parking space at the door of the villa that I found it so quickly. At this time, Luan Xiaoru's boyfriend also parked the car. He drove a Lexus LX 570, which made Jing Xiaolu slightly surprised. The price of this car was not low. The total cost was 2 million yuan. Luan Xiaoru's boyfriend was rich. Jing Xiaolu's own BMW X5 was not as expensive as his car. But looking at Luan Xiaoru's usual appearance, she did not spend much money. It made Jing Xiaolu feel that she was also low-key. Miss Jing, happy birthday. After Luan Xiaoru's boyfriend parked the car, he got out of the car with a small box and handed it to Jing Xiaolu. This is for you. It's a gift from Xiaoru and me. Thank you. Jing Xiaolu took the gift and then smiled at Luan Xiaoru. Don't you want to introduce him? I should have introduced him a long time ago, but my husband is too busy. I haven't had a chance to meet him. Luan Xiaoru smiled and pointed to her boyfriend. Sister Xiaolu, his name is Li Buliang. He works in an import and export trading company. I have heard of your name for a long time, but I haven't seen you in person. Jing Xiaolu smiled and nodded to Li Buliang. I don't need to introduce myself. Let's go in. The other friends are here too. Okay. Luan Xiaoru and Li Buliang entered the villa hand in hand. The other girls knew that Jing Xiaolu's good friends were here, so they all stood up to show politeness. Let me introduce these two friends to everyone. After Luan Xiaoru and Li Buliang entered the house, Jing Xiaolu took the initiative to introduce them. This is Luan Xiaoru. She is a colleague in my company and one of my good friends. This is her boyfriend, Li Buliang. He works in a trading company. He is tall, rich, and handsome. Luan Xiaoru smiled and greeted everyone. Li Buliang was about to greet her, but he saw a few acquaintances among Jing Xiaolu's friends. Zhou Jiejie, teacher Xiao. Li Buliang looked at Zhou Jiejie and Xiao Qing with some surprise. He didn't know why the two of them were here. Li Buliang, hello. I didn't expect you to remember me. Zhou Jiejie naturally knew Li Buliang. This person was the president of the Computer Association of Songjiang Industry University. At that time, when she and Yang Ming went to school, this person tried to invite her and Yang Ming to join the association. But later, Zhou Jiejie joined Xiao Qing's research group. Naturally, she had no contact with Li Buliang. However, everyone was a popular figure in the school's computer department. It was normal to know each other. How can I not remember? Your reputation is like thunder in my ears. Teacher Zhao's proud disciple. Li Buliang smiled. Buliang, how are you recently? Xiao Qing also smiled and nodded to him. Xiao Qing was the dean of the school's computer department, and Li Buliang was the former president of the Computer Association. The two people would definitely meet often because of work. But later, Li Buliang graduated and interned, so there was no more contact. Not bad. I work in an import and export trading company. The boss thinks highly of me. Oh. He even gave me a car. Li Buliang smiled and said, I'm not tall, rich, and handsome. The car isn't my own. Haha, that is also a potential stock. Jing Xiaolu smiled and said, if your boss didn't think highly of you, it would be impossible to give you such an expensive car. While talking and laughing, Jing Xiaolu introduced the others to Wan Xiaoru and Li Buliang. Because they were all young people, everyone quickly became familiar with each other. When it was time to eat, the atmosphere of the birthday party became more enthusiastic. However, Li Buliang was indeed a person with outstanding eloquence. He was eloquent and had a wide range of knowledge. It allowed everyone to gain a lot of knowledge. Right, Sister Xiaolu, why don't I see your boyfriend? Luan Xiaoru suddenly asked. Yeah, I heard from Xiaoru that your boyfriend is a powerful person. I spent a lot of effort to ask for leave from the boss. I wanted to get to know him, but he doesn't seem to be here. Li Buliang also said with a smile. Chapter 2192. Yang Ming. He has something to do, so he hasn't come back yet. Jing Xiaolu said embarrassedly, next time. When he comes back, let's have a meal together. Yang Ming. This name sounds familiar. He's also from our school, right? Li Buliang asked after some hesitation. Although he and Jing Xiaolu were not in the same class, they were still considered schoolmates. And he's also from our school. He has participated in several competitions and is quite famous. Jing Xiaolu nodded and said. However, Li Buliang didn't seem to be interested in these activities. At that time, he was about to graduate and go to find a job for an internship, so he had only heard of Yang Ming. He didn't have any impression of him. Then let's wait for him to come back. We'll get to know him when we have the chance. Zhou Jiejia pursed her lips. She wanted to say that when the Computer Association was recruiting members, she and Yang Ming went together. Li Buliang was also present at that time. However, it was impossible for Li Buliang to remember Yang Ming at that time. After all, it was just a chance meeting. There were too many new students. How could he remember them all? As for Li Buliang knowing Zhou Jiejia, it was because Zhou Jiejia participated in Xiao Qing's research group and was a famous person in the computer department. Therefore, Zhou Jiejia hesitated and didn't say it. After all, if Li Buliang asked why Zhou Jiejia and Yang Ming went to the Computer Association together, it would be difficult for her to explain. Jing Xiaolu's birthday passed in a lively atmosphere. The only regret was that Bai Hai, Gu Xinyao, and Lu Huamei were not invited. Bai Hai and Gu Xinyao went on a trip, and Lu Huamei was further away. She was also busy with the company's affairs. The entire Lu family's business was managed by her. The workload could be imagined. In the evening, Jing Xiaolu sent Wan Xiaoru and Li Buliang away and returned to the living room tiredly. Xiaolu, is this Wan Xiaoru your colleague in the company? The others didn't say anything, but Sun Jia asked after some hesitation. Yeah, when I first came to the company, Xiaoru helped me enthusiastically. Later, when I became the chairman, I transferred her to be my secretary. Jing Xiaolu nodded and said. Oh, then she's an ordinary employee in the company. How much is her monthly salary? Asked Sun Jia. When I was an ordinary clerk, it was more than 2,000, but now that I'm a full-time secretary, it's more than 10,000. Jing Xiaolu said, Sister Sun Jia, why do you ask? Nothing. I just feel that this person doesn't seem like a small office worker. Judging from her eating posture and temperament, she seems like a well-bred young lady who has received special training. Why is she only a clerk? Sun Jia shook her head. Moreover, her boyfriend drives a Lexus LX 570. Is this the car of an ordinary trading company staff? He's at least a vice president or above, right? I'm a little puzzled too, but her boyfriend is really busy. Maybe it's because of his outstanding performance that the boss appreciates him, said Jing Xiaolu. Maybe I'm overthinking. These two people are a bit awkward. Sun Jia frowned. She didn't find anything too strange. It was not impossible for a well-bred young lady to work as an ordinary clerk in the company. It was normal for a particularly powerful employee to be appreciated by the boss with a car worth 2 million yuan. However, when these two people were together, it made Sun Jia feel awkward. It's fine once you get used to it. Xiaoru is still a very good person, said Jing Xiaolu. Right, Meng Yan said that you want me to go to the company to help you. Sun Jia changed the topic and no longer entangled with Wan Xiaoru and Li Buliang. Yeah, there are a lot of things in the company. Sister Sun Jia, I used to be just an ordinary working girl. It's a little hard to put me in this position all of a sudden. During this time, if it weren't for the help of Brother Bao and Brother Ho, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of things. Said Jing Xiaolu. Alright, then I'll go to the company with you tomorrow. You can just arrange a position for me. Sun Jia nodded and agreed. Anyway, I'll be working for Yang Ming. How can that be? If Sister Sun Jia goes, I'll let you be the chairman, said Jing Xiaolu quickly. Don't. Sun Jia quickly waved her hand and said, just arrange an executive vice president for me. Don't be the chairman. Donghai's Sun family's business has just been managed by Tian Donghua. I just breathed a sigh of relief. I don't want to be too tired. Xiaolu, you're still young. You can't just count on me. Hee, that's fine too. Jing Xiaolu nodded. Early the next morning, Sun Jia and Jing Xiaolu went to the company. This move made the other girls a little surprised. They all knew that Sun Jia was very busy in Donghai's company. Now that she was finally free, she must have a carefree life at home. They just didn't expect her to go to Jing Xiaolu's company the next day. Although Jing Xiaolu was also very surprised, she was still very happy. With Sun Jia's help, she could save a lot of worry. However, no one knew the purpose of Sun Jia going to the company. Only she knew what she was going to do in Jing Xiaolu's company. At Dong Jun's and Huang Youcai's residence, Dong Jun just got the news from Fang Tian that Yang Ming forgave him. He was excited and happy. Since Huang Youcai had also made a decision, the next step was naturally to fully assist Dong Jun to collect, analyze, and research about Dr. Benjamin and the center. Unfortunately, the central structure was too strict. Everyone was only connected through a single line. Even Dong Jun himself had only met a few people from the central when he was carrying out missions. He only knew them because of Dr. Benjamin's recommendation. Otherwise, Dong Jun would never have known that some people were actually part of the central. Although Dong Jun's understanding of Yang Ming before, it was not surprising that Yang Ming could forgive him. But when he heard Yang Ming say to Fang Tian that he forgave him, Dong Jun still had a feeling of escaping from death. It was just that Dong Jun was very puzzled. Wasn't Yang Ming caught by Elder Yu in the valley? Isn't he unable to contact the outside world? How can he still call Fang Tian? This made him feel very strange, but there was hope in his heart. Since Yang Ming could hide from Elder Yu and silently contact Fang Tian, it meant that Yang Ming still had a trump card. Previously, Dong Jun felt that Yang Ming was deliberately caught by Elder Yu, and the current situation proved this, which made Dong Jun very gratified. A phone rang. Dong Jun was slightly stunned and picked up the phone. Not many people knew this phone number. Generally, there were very few people who called, so Dong Jun felt a little strange when he heard the phone ring. Chapter 2193. Dong Jun picked up the phone, glanced at the caller ID above, and frowned suddenly. The caller was actually Elder Yu. For this pretentious guy, Dong Jun had no interest in continuing to chat with him. After all, since Dong Jun intended to leave Dr. Benjamin's center, he had become on the same side as Yang Ming. Therefore, Dong Jun didn't want to maintain a close relationship with Elder Yu. But in order not to let Elder Yu see any flaws and not let Dr. Benjamin doubt him, Dong Jun could only continue to be polite to Elder Yu. After all, Dr. Benjamin asked him to pay attention to Yang Ming's news at all times. If he didn't care about this, then there must be a problem. So after Dong Jun adjusted his mood, he pretended to be very enthusiastic and answered the phone. Hello? Elder Yu. You haven't called me for a long time. Are you a rare guest? Originally, before Elder Yu called Dong Jun, he was still a little nervous. After all, when he called Dong Jun last time, Dong Jun was indifferent. Elder Yu wanted to find someone to show off his results, but this person couldn't be his subordinate. Only Dong Jun was his former collaborator. However, when he heard Dong Jun's enthusiastic voice, Elder Yu was relieved. Perhaps Dong Jun was in a bad mood when he answered the phone last time, so Elder Yu didn't care too much. At least this time, Dong Jun's attitude made him very satisfied. "Ha, Falcon, I can hear that you seem to be in a good mood," Elder Yu said with a smile. "It's okay." "Ha, you don't know. I did a big thing before," said Dong Jun. "Oh. What big thing?" Elder Yu asked, baffled. "I sent the photos of Yang Ming and his woman together to Yang Ming's first wife. At that time, I am afraid that his family will be in chaos, ha 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 ha." Dong Jun deliberately said this in order to show his closeness to Elder Yu. Although he already knew that this matter was successfully resolved by Chen Mengyan and others, he still took it out as a topic to talk about. It turned out to be like this. "Ha, you are quite sarcastic." Elder Yu smiled and said, "However, what you are doing is not as interesting as what I am doing here." "Oh. What have you been up to recently?" Dong Jun pretended to be very interested and asked. In fact, Dong Jun already knew about Yang Ming's recent situation from Fong Tian. "Ha, let me tell you." As Elder Yu spoke, he told Dong Jun that Yang Ming and the others had plotted several times to deal with him, but they had failed. In the end, he laughed and said, "Yang Ming is like a clown in my hands. He can't escape from my palm. They are probably full of hope to deal with me every time, but in the end, it is all in vain. There is no progress at all. So that's how it is. Ha 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 ha, that Yang Ming is really stupid." Dong Jun said so, but he was secretly anxious in his heart. Yang Ming was actually helpless. Doesn't that mean that Yang Ming's method is ineffective, and he can't deal with Elder Yu? Oh. Now, Yang Ming's safety was closely related to Dong Jun. If Yang Ming could come back smoothly, it was naturally good. Dong Jun could deal with Central with him. If Yang Ming couldn't come back, then Dong Jun would be miserable. With his own strength, it was impossible to compete with Central. As for Elder Yu, Dong Jun simply didn't think about cooperating with him. The two people were simply in a relationship of pure interest. It was a joke to ask Elder Yu to help deal with Central and Dr. Benjamin. Elder Yu probably wouldn't agree. If the news was leaked out at that time, Dong Jun would be dead. Therefore, Dong Jun didn't think about having a deep relationship with this kind of person who he wasn't sure about. "Yeah, how about it? Have you thought about it? Are you coming or not? Let's see how miserable Yang Ming is." Elder Yu once again issued an invitation to Dong Jun. In fact, Elder Yu was also a person with inflated self-esteem. He wanted to show off his achievements to others, but looking at the people around him, he could only show off in front of Dong Jun. As for his subordinates, they were the same flattering and fawning every day, which made Elder Yu lose interest. Therefore, he wanted to make Dong Jun come here to show off how powerful he was to make Yang Ming a fool. Oh. It's okay to go over. Then I will go and see. Dong Jun hesitated and said ambiguously, then, I will prepare here and contact you again. Okay, then I will wait for the good news. Elder Yu nodded and said. What Dong Jun wanted was to discuss with Fang Tian whether to go or not. Moreover, before going, he had to talk to Dr. Benjamin, so Dong Jun couldn't make a decision for a while. However, before Dong Jun could take the initiative to contact Dr. Benjamin, Dr. Benjamin's news came first. Looking at the information on the computer screen, Dong Jun quickly adjusted his emotions. He had to be vigilant at all times so that Dr. Benjamin would not notice anything wrong. Falcon, how are things recently? Is there any news about Yang Ming? Asked Dr. Benjamin. Although he didn't know why Dr. Benjamin suddenly became interested in Yang Ming, Dong Jun didn't dare to ask too much. After all, he was just a chess piece in Dr. Benjamin's hands, not an equal existence to Dr. Benjamin. If he asked too much, he would violate the rules of Central. There is news. I got in touch with Elder Yu and asked about Yang Ming's recent situation. As Dong Jun said, he told Dr. Benjamin about what Elder Yu had told him before. Moreover, he even said that Elder Yu invited him to go to Miaojiang to see Yang Ming. Oh. Elder Yu actually asked you to see Yang Ming, said Dr. Benjamin. Did you agree? Not yet. I want to ask for your opinion. If you want me to go, then I will go and see. Said Dong Jun, then you go and see. Remember, pay attention to whether there is anything strange about Yang Ming. The most important thing is whether there is any special ability or something like that. Said Dr. Benjamin. Special ability. Okay. Dong Jun was baffled. Why does Dr. Benjamin suspect that Yang Ming has special abilities? Also, how is your investigation in Songjiang City? Do the people around Yang Ming know if there is anything strange about Yang Ming? Asked Dr. Benjamin. I really didn't pay attention to this. You know, although I tried to contact the people around Yang Ming as senior brother Yang Ming, it needs a gradual process. It is not so easy to contact. Said Dong Jun. Chapter 2194. I know. You don't have to be responsible for this matter. I will arrange for other people to do it. You go and see Yang Ming first. Get in touch with him and see if there is anything strange about Yang Ming. Dr. Benjamin instructed. Okay, I got it. Dong Jun replied, then I will reply to Elder Yu. I will go over now. You don't have to intervene in the things in Songjiang City for the time being. I have already activated other people. Elder Yu said, you can rest assured and contact Yang Ming. You don't have to worry about this side. Ah, the people here are. Dong Jun was shocked. Although he had long suspected that he was not the only person arranged by Central in Songjiang City, it was only a suspicion because Dr. Benjamin never let them contact each other and never mentioned it. But Dr. Benjamin didn't mention it until it was useful. It could be seen how powerful Dr. Benjamin was. Even Dong Jun had never heard of the other people he hid in Songjiang City. However, if these people were not clear, Dong Jun was a little worried. What if his contact with Yang Ming was discovered by these people? Even if he was careful, it was also a very painful thing to have someone monitoring him. Falcon, you are not a newcomer. You grew up in Central since you were a child. Don't you know the rules of Central? Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. Dr. Benjamin said sternly. Yes. Doctor, I don't mean anything else. I just want to hand over to him and share with him my experience of Yang Ming these days. Dong Jun was shocked and said with cold sweat. You have to know that when you should be contacted, you will naturally be contacted. Don't ask about things that you shouldn't be contacted. Dr. Benjamin said. I understand. Dong Jun said in fear and trepidation. Well, you can contact Elder Yu yourself. Let me know when to depart, said Dr. Benjamin. Yes, doctor. Dong Jun said quickly. Seeing the end of the dialogue box, Dong Jun broke out in a cold sweat. He was almost suspected by Dr. Benjamin. If he really suspected anything, it would not be worth it. Thinking of this, Dong Jun secretly decided that he would never ask anything that he shouldn't ask in the future. Otherwise, if Dr. Benjamin really found out something was wrong in advance, then things would get out of hand. In the evening, Dong Jun came to Fong Tian's house in the dark. Since he knew that Dr. Benjamin still had people in Songjiang City, Dong Jun had become more cautious. He followed the principle of being careful and making no mistakes. He avoided being found out before he completely fell out with Dr. Benjamin. You're here. Fong Tian saw Dong Jun come in and nodded to him. Master. I got some latest news about Yang Ming from Elder Yu, so I came to discuss it with you. Dong Jun said. Oh. What news? Fong Tian asked curiously. After all, Yang Ming had just called not long ago. It's like this. As Dong Jun spoke, he repeated Yang Ming's encounter in Miaojiang and what Elder Yu said to Fong Tian. According to Elder Yu, Yang Ming can't compete with him at all. He is just playing with Yang Ming with a playful attitude, and Yang Ming is defeated again and again, really. Fong Tian's face changed slightly after hearing it. When Yang Ming called before, he confidently told Fong Tian that they already had a way to deal with Elder Yu, but now it seemed that this method did not work. Elder Yu was better, and Yang Ming and others ended in failure. Elder Yu shouldn't lie. Dong Jun said, and he also invited me to go to Miaojiang to see Yang Ming's frustrated look after his failure. I guess he wants to show me how powerful he is, so this matter can't be fake. So, Yang Ming is in danger. Fong Tian sighed and said without worry, it turns out that it's not us who have a trump card, but Elder Yu also has his trump card. This is natural. Elder Yu is not a fool. It is definitely impossible for him not to guess how Yang Ming wants to deal with him. Dong Jun nodded and said, but I am thinking, even if I go to Miaojiang, how can I help Yang Ming? This is also true. Fong Tian smiled bitterly. Are you complaining that I didn't teach you the ability of an assassin? How can it be? Dong Jun quickly shook his head and said, Master, you and Yang Ming can let me go this time. It is already a great kindness. How can I complain? Besides, even if I master the ability of an assassin, it is naturally no problem to deal with ordinary people. But in the face of a higher level, such as Elder Yu, a mutated guy, what is the use of the ability of an assassin? He is invulnerable. He is a complete monster. This is the most troublesome problem. Fong Tian smiled bitterly. Suddenly, his eyes lit up and asked, can't you poison him? If you go to Miaojiang, you should have a chance to contact Elder Yu. Can you poison him to death? This seems to be impossible. I heard Elder Yu boast to me before that Jin Gang Voodoo is invulnerable to external attacks. It is also invulnerable to internal attacks. Ordinary poisons have no effect on him. Dong Jun said, if it can be poisoned, Yang Ming probably would have thought of it. That is a headache. Fong Tian also frowned. He didn't know what to do. Forget it. Anyway, I have to go to Miaojiang. Dr. Benjamin also asked me to go. Dong Jun said, now I am not worried about how to deal with elder Yu. After all, that is Yang Ming's matter. It is useless for us to worry about it. What I am worried about is whether the other people that Dr. Benjamin arranged here will affect our plan. Another person arranged. Fong Tian nodded and said, I will pay attention to this. I will do my best to see if I can find out. But if it is too secretive, then I can't do anything. After all, the people trained by Dr. Benjamin are not trivial. I found out about your problem a long time ago. Master, please don't scold me. Aren't you mocking me? Dong Jun smiled bitterly. That's fine. Then I will reply to elder Yu. I will prepare in these few days and go to Miaojiang. But you must be careful. Don't let elder Yu see it. You and Yang Ming have actually resolved your grievances. Fong Tian said this and was worried. Now I can't contact Yang Ming. If I can contact Yang Ming, I should inform him in advance. Chapter 2195. That's true. Let's say hello to avoid being exposed. If he forgives me directly in front of elder Yu, then it will be a big deal. Dong Jun also nodded. It's just that when Yang Ming called last time, there was no caller ID. Maybe he used some kind of hidden method. I can't contact Yang Ming again. Fong Tian said with regret. Yang Ming called using Sun Sikong's phone. Under normal circumstances, although this phone had a normal line number, it could also broadcast to an alien planet, so the caller ID was not displayed under normal circumstances. However, in order to let Lan Ling's grandmother contact him, Yang Ming deliberately told her the normal transfer number of this phone. As for Fong Tian and others, Yang Ming didn't think about letting them call him at all. After all, he wasn't next to the phone, so it was useless to call. This is a big problem. If I don't tell Yang Ming in advance, I'm afraid there will be a problem at that time. Dong Jun said with concern. Although I don't think Yang Ming is so stupid, if you really want to contact Yang Ming, then I can recommend two people to you. You can go to them. Maybe you can find Yang Ming's phone number. Fong Tian hesitated and said. Who are they? Dong Jun asked quickly. Xiao Qing and Zhou Jiejia. Fong Tian said, both of them are computer experts. If you look for them, you should be able to find out which number Yang Ming used to call. Okay, then I'll go to them. Dong Jun was reminded by Fong Tian and also remembered that there were two computer geniuses around Yang Ming. Last time, he was pulled out from behind the scenes by Fong Tian and Wang Xiaoyan because Xiao Qing and Zhou Jiejia cracked the phone's chip and found his contact information. Therefore, thinking of this, Dong Jun was full of confidence in them. Although there were similar computer experts in the center, Dong Jun couldn't ask them to do this kind of thing. Dr. Benjamin would definitely doubt his purpose. Thinking of this, Dong Jun bid farewell to Fong Tian and drove to Yang Ming's home. Today, Sun Jia had been working at Mingyang Entertainment for a week. During this week, she helped Jing Xiaolu do a lot of things, and she was also very familiar with Wan Xiaoru. After all, as someone who was also trusted by Jing Xiaolu, Sun Jia and Wan Xiaoru had no less opportunities to interact with each other than Jing Xiaolu. Wan Xiaoru used to take a bus or a taxi to work every day, but since her boyfriend Li Buliang showed his economic strength that day, Wan Xiaoru drove her new car in less than 2 days. It was a Mercedes-Benz GLK. Although the price was not as expensive as Li Buliang's Lexus LX 570, it was still a good car among the white-collar workers in the company. One had to know that most of the employees who worked in the entertainment company drove a car that cost around 100,000 yuan. A Mercedes-Benz that cost 400,000 yuan was already the car of the department manager. However, as Jing Xiaolu's full-time secretary, Wan Xiaoru was not too conspicuous driving a car worth more than 400,000 yuan. After work today, they agreed that Wan Xiaoru would come to the house for dinner, and Jing Xiaolu also said that she would invite all her friends from her previous birthday. Of course, this proposal was not proposed by Jing Xiaolu, but by Sun Jia. If it were Jing Xiaolu herself, Jing Xiaolu would definitely not be so troublesome. After all, she was not the one who called the shots at home. With Chen Mengyan and Sun Jia, how could it be her turn to treat? However, today's matter was proposed by Sun Jia, so although Jing Xiaolu was surprised, she still followed Sun Jia's intention and invited Wan Xiaoru back home. The car was parked in the courtyard, but just as the three people's car was parked, another Ferrari sports car stopped in front of the villa, and Dong Jun came out of the car. Sun Jia was slightly stunned after seeing Dong Jun. She didn't expect him to come here today. Dong Jun was also slightly stunned. He didn't expect that in addition to Sun Jia and Jing Xiaolu, there was actually an outsider present. Is he here as a guest? Sun Jia gave Jing Xiaolu a wink. Jing Xiaolu understood and quickly introduced, Xiaoru, this is Dong Jun, a good friend of my boyfriend, Yang Ming. He is also a friend that I invited. As Jing Xiaolu spoke, Sun Jia also gave Dong Jun a wink. How smart was Dong Jun? He immediately understood Sun Jia's meaning. Most likely, this person called Xiaoru was a friend of Jing Xiaolu, and Wan Xiaoru didn't know the relationship between Sun Jia and Yang Ming. So Dong Jun smiled slightly and nodded to Wan Xiaoru. Hello. Hello, Dong Jun. My name is Wan Xiaoru. Wan Xiaoru said politely to Dong Jun. Since there were guests present, Dong Jun couldn't say much. He followed Sun Jia and the others into the house, pretending to be Jing Xiaolu's friend and sat at the table. Originally, Dong Jun wanted to study Yang Ming's matter with the women, but because Wan Xiaoru was present, he naturally couldn't talk about these topics. Therefore, he just talked about the trivial things in life with everyone at the dinner table and smiled in agreement. However, Dong Jun didn't know why. When he looked at Wan Xiaoru, he felt a little awkward and incongruous, but Dong Jun couldn't tell exactly what was incongruous. Xiaoru, Yang Ming said before that you are really elegant when you eat. He is not wrong at all. You see, although we are all eating, you eat the most refined and well-behaved as if you have received professional training. Jing Xiaolu smiled and teased. Not at all. I just like to imitate after watching too many TV series. Wan Xiaoru said with a smile. However, Jing Xiaolu's words gave Dong Jun a flash of inspiration. Professional training. Yes, no wonder she is so familiar. When Alice eats, she is also very well-behaved and generous like Wan Xiaoru. However, before Alice debuted, she received strict training in the center, and so did I. Could it be that this Wan Xiaoru has also received similar training? However, thinking of this absurd speculation, Dong Jun shook his head again. It should be impossible. After all, this Wan Xiaoru is just his secretary in Jing Xiaolu's company. What's the use of training this thing? After the meal, Wan Xiaoru got up and left. Dong Jun also pretended to leave, but Dong Jun went out and walked around before he came back again. Sorry, I didn't expect you to come today. I invited a colleague here to eat. Sun Jia nodded to Dong Jun, who came back again. It doesn't matter. Dong Jun shook his head. This is other people's home. They can invite whoever they want to. Dong Jun naturally couldn't interfere with this. This colleague is a bit strange. She is like a lady. Chapter 2196. Do you have this feeling, too? Sun Jia was slightly stunned. She didn't expect Dong Jun to have the same feeling as her. Yeah, I always feel that she is a bit awkward, but I can't tell what's wrong with her. Dong Jun said truthfully, however, she is just a colleague in your company. There is no need to study her more. That's true, but I always have an uneasy feeling. When I see this person, I feel that she has a purpose for approaching Xiaolu. Sun Jia shrugged and said, Right, why are you here? Is there anything you need? Yes. Dong Jun hesitated and looked outside the villa. Don't worry. Yang Ming has installed monitoring and anti-theft systems inside and outside the villa. With Jia and Sister Xiaoqing, these equipment have been upgraded. No outsiders can sneak in here silently, said Wang Xiaoyan. Dong Jun nodded and said, Elder Yu called me before. He called you? Wang Xiaoyan and the others were stunned. Why did he call you? Is it about Yang Ming? Yes, it's about Yang Ming. Dong Jun nodded and didn't hide it. He told the women what Elder Yu said. After all, they also had the right to know about Yang Ming's news first. What? Yang Ming failed. Chen Mengyan couldn't help but exclaim after listening to Dong Jun's words. The faces of the others were not much better. Even Sun Jia, who had always been calm, changed her expression at the moment. Elder Yu is actually so powerful. He is not even afraid of the Herculean voodoo. Yes, Elder Yu has become an almost invincible existence. Dong Jun smiled bitterly and said, When I learned of this news, I was also very worried. This time, Elder Yu invited me to see him humiliate Yang Ming and show off his ability in front of me. However, I am afraid that Yang Ming will say that he forgave me, causing the whole thing to be exposed. Therefore, I want to ask Jia and Xiaoqing to help and check the number that Yang Ming called last time. If you can find Yang Ming's number, I can contact Yang Ming in advance and remind him not to expose our matter. I can also ask him if he needs my help. I can help him by the way, of course. Zhou Jia nodded. Leave this to me and Sister Xiaoqing. We will try our best to help you find Yang Ming's phone number. Then, please, said Dong Jun, please what? In fact, this is what we should do. If you can call Yang Ming in advance, you can ask Yang Ming if he needs anything. You can secretly bring it to him. It can be considered as helping Yang Ming, said Zhou Jia. Dong Jun didn't say much and left directly. After all, his current identity was very sensitive. He was also afraid that Dr. Yang Ming would find out that he was too close to Yang Ming's women. He was Yang Ming's senior brother. It was normal to be familiar with Yang Ming's women, but if he was too close, there would be a problem. Yang Ming was not at home. As a senior brother, why did you always go to Yang Ming's house? Therefore, after Dong Jun finished talking, he quickly left. After Dong Jun left, although the women were a little depressed, Zhou Jia and Xiaoqing still moved and began to investigate Yang Ming's phone number. In Miaojiang's Medicine Valley, Yang Ming and others had their initial leisurely days these days. Of course, it was useless not to be leisurely. After all, Yang Ming was powerless. He had no countermeasures. The others were the same. They had used all the methods that could be used on Elder Yu, but they couldn't bring any substantial harm to Elder Yu. In the end, they were insulted and ridiculed by Elder Yu, which made everyone very depressed. Although it was not to the extent that they lost their confidence because of Elder Yu, it was not very good in their hearts. At present, everyone's only hope was Lan Ling's grandmother. They wanted to see if Lan Ling's grandmother could find any way to deal with Elder Yu. But before Lan Ling's grandmother sent a letter, everyone could only eat, drink, and play in the Medicine Valley with nothing to do. However, everyone also regarded this period of time as a very unforgettable period. If they really defeated Elder Yu, then everyone would definitely not continue to stay in the Medicine Valley like they were now. Moreover, most of them would be separated, and there would be no time for everyone to gather together. In the middle of the night, Yang Ming was sleeping soundly with Lan Ling in his arms. Suddenly, Sun Sikong's voice came into his ears. Yang Ming, hurry up and tidy up. There is a call for you. Yang Ming was shocked and jumped up from the bed. Lan Ling and Xia Shui on the side were shocked. Both of them were awakened by Yang Ming's sudden action. They sat up in a daze and looked at Yang Ming puzzledly. They didn't know what Yang Ming wanted to do in the middle of the night. What's wrong? Lan Ling asked in a daze. Yang Ming wanted to answer, but Sun Sikong's voice sounded in his ears again. The UFO is about to set off to pick you up. Hurry up and put on your clothes. Ling Ling, quickly put on your clothes. The UFO is coming. Yang Ming heard Sun Sikong's voice and subconsciously shouted to Lan Ling, UFO. What UFO? Lan Ling was still a little sleepy, but even if she woke up, she wouldn't understand what Yang Ming meant by the UFO was coming. Grandpa's son said that there is a call for me. He wants to send a UFO to pick us up. Yang Ming said as he found Lan Ling's pajamas on the side and put them on her. Yang Ming was afraid that the UFO would suddenly appear and connect Lan Ling to the UFO. That would be embarrassing. As for Yang Ming himself, although he only wore underwear, he didn't mind. After all, he was a man. He wasn't afraid of Sun Sikong and Imo Kongwen. Ah. Okay. After Lan Ling heard Yang Ming's words, she suddenly woke up a lot. She quickly put on her pajamas and got up from the bed. Yang Ming also put on his clothes. Yang Ming was a person who had undergone strict assassin training. His speed of putting on his clothes was naturally not comparable to Lan Ling. Therefore, he actually finished putting on his clothes before Lan Ling. However, shortly after the two of them put on their clothes, they saw a dazzling white light flash in the room. Then, something incredible happened. Yang Ming and Lan Ling disappeared into thin air under Xia Shui's gaze. If Xia Shui hadn't seen Sun Sikong's advanced technology, she would definitely think that she had seen a ghost at this moment. Otherwise, how could two living people suddenly disappear? However, Xia Shui knew that this must be Sun Sikong picking up Yang Ming and Lan Ling, so she was just surprised. She wasn't too surprised. Chapter 2197. In the next moment, Yang Ming and Lan Ling appeared in the flying saucer. The space of the flying saucer was very small. This was just a small flying saucer. Yang Ming looked at it. This flying saucer could only seat 4 people at most. It couldn't accommodate more people. This was essentially different from those big spaceships that could easily destroy buildings in science fiction movies. It was estimated that this could only be regarded as a spaceship. However, before Yang Ming could take the next step to study it carefully, a white light flashed in front of him again. Yang Ming and Lan Ling appeared in front of the cave, and the flying saucer was hovering directly above their heads. It didn't take long for it to land quietly in the open space not far from Yang Ming. The whole process was completed in an instant, and there was no trace of noise. If Yang Ming didn't personally experience this magical scene, he would probably think that the flying saucer was originally parked there and had never moved at all. However, Yang Ming really felt the feeling of being quickly transmitted. If Yang Ming wasn't awake at the moment, he would even think that he was dreaming. However, Yang Ming didn't have the mood to study the flying saucer. He didn't forget the purpose of coming here, which was to answer the phone. Yang Ming took Lan Ling and quickly walked in the direction of the cave. Sun Sikong was already standing at the entrance of the cave at this moment to welcome Yang Ming and Lan Ling. Yang Ming, the phone is coming. You go and answer it, said Sun Sikong. Okay. Yang Ming no longer hesitated. He quickly walked into the cave and grabbed the phone. Hello, Grandma Lan. Yang Ming, calling you so late at night. Did I disturb your rest with Ling Ling? Grandma Lan's voice came from the phone. No, but if I found a way to deal with Elder Yu, even if I disturbed your rest, it was worth it. Said Yang Ming with a smile. It's urgent. I finally managed to contact your Grandpa Lan. He may have a way to deal with Elder Yu, but he is now avoiding Elder Yu's eyes and ears. Time is limited. He only has time now. I'll let him call you now. Said Grandma Lan. All right. Yang Ming was slightly stunned. It turned out that Grandpa Lan had thought of a solution. Of course, Yang Ming also knew that Elder Yu had never given up on searching for Lan Hai in order to achieve his goal of controlling Lan Miao village. He wanted to kill Lan Hai. This way, if Lan Hai died, according to the rules of Lan Miao village's ancestors, he, Elder Yu, could smoothly take over the position of Lan Miao village's chief. This way, he could achieve his goal of controlling Lan Miao village without shedding a single drop of blood. However, Lan Hai had been hiding all these years, making Elder Yu unable to make a move. Thus, Elder Yu became crazy and started refining Jin Ganggu, wanting to use force to control Lan Miao village. As for Lan Hai, although he was knowledgeable, Lan Miao village had always advocated peace. Hence, Lan Hai did not learn those deadly voodoo poisons. Hence, even though he was more knowledgeable than Elder Yu, he was not Elder Yu's match. It was also because Lan Hai had not died that Elder Yu could not take over Lan Miao village. Instead, Lan Ling's grandmother controlled Lan Miao village and made them enemies. After Grandma Lan finished speaking, she hung up the phone. Not long after, the phone rang again. Yang Ming quickly picked up the phone. Yang Ming, I am your Grandpa Ma. On the other side of the phone, there was a voice of an old man. Grandpa Ma. Yang Ming was stunned. Wasn't it Grandpa Lan who called me? How did it become Grandpa Ma? However, Yang Ming immediately reacted. Grandpa Ma, isn't that Grandpa Lan? Ma Xiaoyao was Lan Hai's alias. In order to avoid Elder Yu's pursuit, Lan Hai changed his name to Ma Xiaoyao. He had been a guard in Yang Ming's high school. Why? Don't you recognize your Grandpa Ma? Lan Hai laughed. I recognize you. How can I not recognize you? It's just that you suddenly said Grandpa Ma. I didn't react for a while. Previously, Grandma Lan said Grandpa Lan. Yang Ming said with a bitter smile. I was thinking that you would be more familiar with me if I said Grandpa Ma. Lan Hai said, no matter what Grandpa, it is still me. Your Grandma Lan also told me about your matter. I helped you think of a way, but whether it can be done or not, it still depends on you. Oh. What is the way? Yang Ming was delighted and asked quickly. As long as there was a way, there was hope. Yang Ming was afraid that there was no way. Now, Yang Ming himself could be said to have no way at all. Jin Gang Voodoo, invulnerable to weapons and water, and it was strengthened and improved by Elder Yu. It became even more abnormal. This voodoo can not only strengthen the body, but it can also be immune to general poisons and voodoo, but it can't be immune to high-level voodoo. As Lan Hai said this, he paused slightly and continued, Yang Ming, you should understand what I mean, right? Grandpa Lan, do you mean that you want me to put voodoo on Elder Yu? Yang Ming wasn't stupid. He immediately understood Grandpa Lan's meaning. Yes. Although Herculean voodoo is the only nemesis of Jin Gang voodoo, it doesn't mean that you can't kill Elder Yu with other methods. Lan Hai said, I listened to your Grandma Lan's meaning. You are now walking into a dead end. You are a bit of a dead end. Every day, you think about how to deal with Elder Yu's Jin Gang voodoo. But if you think about it from another perspective, Elder Yu is also a person. Jin Gang voodoo is just a means of self-defense. But if you can't use force, you can use soft methods. You can use poison to fight poison. You can use voodoo to end him. Voodoo. But Elder Yu himself is a master of voodoo. If we put voodoo on him, let's not talk about whether there is a chance. Even if there is a chance, he should be aware of it, right? Said Yang Ming. Some voodoo is in the form of bacteria. Elder Yu can naturally feel it. For example, the Herculean voodoo and Jin Gang voodoo that you took. These are voodoo cultivated in the form of bacteria. Lon Hai said, this kind of voodoo is very sensitive to us. As long as someone puts voodoo, we can feel it almost instantly. But there is another kind of voodoo that exists in the form of voodoo worms. If you can let Elder Yu take this voodoo without anyone noticing, then you are done. Then, what kind of voodoo are there? What is it that Jin Gang voodoo can't be immune to, and Elder Yu can't detect it? Yang Ming asked with a wry smile. Although Lon Hai's method seemed feasible, in fact, it was extremely difficult to operate. First of all, this kind of voodoo was very difficult to cultivate and refine in this environment. Second, how to give it to Elder Yu? Lie to him and say that this is Jin Gang voodoo, oh. Chapter 2198. Elder Yu was not a fool. He could definitely distinguish whether it was the Jin Gang goo or not and whether there was a problem. Unless he was a fool, he would simply eat something given to him. This. Lon Hai frowned and said, this kind of goo poison is very rare. In my memory, there is only one kind of goo poison called quick cicada goo. It is of this type, but this quick cicada goo is extremely difficult to refine. It almost no longer exists, and the refining method is also lost. What? Quick cicada goo. Yang Ming was a little surprised and almost screamed. Why? Have you heard of quick cicada goo? Lon Hai heard Yang Ming scream and couldn't help but be stunned. Of course, I have heard of it. It is the kind of goo poison that can turn people into idiots, right? Asked Yang Ming. Yes, the adult quick cicada goo. As long as you swallow it, you can instantly lose your memory and become exactly like an idiot. Lon Hai said, but from the quick cicada goo to the adult quick cicada goo, it takes a very long process. It takes 10 to 20 years. So even if you find the refining method of quick cicada goo, you have to make long-term preparations. You have to wait for the quick cicada goo to take effect before you can completely defeat Elder Yu. So, I don't recommend using quick cicada goo. You can research with Lon Ling to see if there are other goo poisons that can replace this quick cicada goo. There is no need to replace. It is the quick cicada goo. Yang Ming listened to Lon Hai's words and had a feeling of light at the end of the tunnel. Indeed, he and the others had fallen into a misunderstanding before. They could obviously use other ways to deal with Elder Yu, but they didn't think of it. Instead, they put their attention on dealing with Jin Gang goo, which led to the result of repeated defeats. If he could consult Lon Hai one step earlier, maybe it would not be so troublesome. You have the refining method of quick cicada goo. Yang Ming's affirmative answer made Lon Hai stunned. He didn't understand why Yang Ming was so sure to defeat Elder Yu with the method of quick cicada goo. No. Yang Ming said affirmatively. No. Then why did you choose quick cicada goo? Lon Hai was even more inexplicable. However, although I don't have the refining method of quick cicada goo, I have an adult quick cicada goo in my hands. As Yang Ming said this, he had a funny feeling. This quick cicada goo was given to Lin Dongfang by Elder Yu. It had been nurtured in Lin Dongfang's body for so many years. After Lon Hai heard Yang Ming's words, he was even more surprised. He found it strange that Yang Ming had the quick cicada goo. Especially the adult quick cicada goo. Lon Hai felt even more incredulous. Why did Yang Ming and others make an adult quick cicada goo? Oh. This is the case. As Yang Ming said this, he told Lon Hai about the origin of quick cicada goo. Of course, he ignored that Yang Ming took out the quick cicada goo from Lin Dongfang's body with the X-ray vision. Instead, he pushed it to Lan Ling's sixth sense, saying that he took out the quick cicada goo with Lan Ling's help. This was not that Yang Ming intended to hide the matter of the X-ray vision glasses from Lon Hai, but now, this X-ray vision glasses were not only Yang Ming's matter. Since Yang Ming met Sun Xikong again, this pair of glasses had become his and Sun Xikong's secret. Without Sun Xikong's permission, Yang Ming would not reveal the secret of the glasses to others. After Lon Hai heard Yang Ming's explanation, he was so surprised that he couldn't speak for a long time. It was hard for him to imagine that this quick cicada goo was actually given to Yang Ming and others by Elder Yu. Elder Yu probably wouldn't have thought that Yang Ming took out the quick cicada goo in such a way. Moreover, he didn't know that Yang Ming was preparing to use the quick cicada goo to deal with Elder Yu. Isn't it a bit dramatic? Yang Ming smiled bitterly and said, "In fact, when I heard you say that the quick cicada goo can be used, I also felt that it was a bit dramatic." Okay, but you must be careful not to let Elder Yu notice. Since this quick cicada goo was given to Lin Dongfang by Elder Yu, then he should be very familiar with the quick cicada goo. Don't let him notice it. Lon Hai reminded. This shouldn't be the case. Yang Ming said, "The quick cicada goo in Lin Dongfang's body has been taken out by me for a long time, but when Lin Dongfang and Elder Yu were fighting, Elder Yu never mentioned this matter. I am afraid that Elder Yu himself doesn't know much about the quick cicada goo, so he shouldn't be able to sense the quick cicada goo." Oh. Lon Hai was slightly stunned. If this is the case, then it is simply great. Moreover, Elder Yu also said before that this quick cicada goo was not refined by him, but obtained from somewhere else. He can put the goo, but he can't detoxify the goo. This proves that he doesn't understand this quick cicada goo. Otherwise, he would have already detoxified the goo in Lin Dongfang's body. Yang Ming said, "After all, Lin Dongfang is the main force helping him to study the Jin Gang goo. If he can detoxify this goo, he will definitely not let Lin Dongfang become an idiot before the Jin Gang goo is developed." This is true. According to what you said, it is very reasonable. Lon Hai nodded and said, "Then, you can try it, but as for the method of putting the goo, you have to study it yourself and find the right opportunity." "We will be careful, thank you Grandpa Lon for reminding us." Yang Ming was very happy in his heart. Today, after listening to Grandpa Lan's words, he solved his doubts for the past few days. These days, his heart that had not relaxed was finally put down. "What are you thanking me for?" Lon Hai said, "If you can really kill Elder Yu, you are the benefactor of our Lan Miao village. I have to thank you on behalf of Lan Miao village." "Well, then I won't say thank you. Grandpa Lan, with my relationship with Lan Ling, you don't have to say that. Helping you is helping myself. We are all family. There is no need to be so polite," said Yang Ming. "I like to hear this." "Well, I won't disturb your rest," said Lon Hai. "Wait, let Ling Ling talk to you." "Ling Ling hasn't talked to you for a long time," said Yang Ming quickly. "Lan Ling is next to you." "That's great." Lon Hai didn't expect Lan Ling to be next to Yang Ming. Grandma Lan didn't say these. Lon Hai thought that Yang Ming was alone here. Yang Ming gave the phone to Lan Ling. Lan Ling was also a little excited. After all, she hadn't contacted Lon Hai for a long time. She picked up the phone and called, "Grandpa." Chapter 2199. It's me. Ling Ling, how are you recently? Lon Hai and Lon Ling chatted, and Yang Ming did not disturb them. He just sat quietly and waited. Lon Ling and Lon Hai chatted and forgot the time. They chatted for more than half an hour before Lon Ling reacted. She quickly said goodbye to her grandfather and hung up the phone. She stuck out her tongue at Yang Ming embarrassedly and said, "I'm sorry. I suddenly forgot the time. I haven't talked to Grandpa for a long time. I was a little excited, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it's midnight now. Elder use people can't come to check at this time. No one will find us. It doesn't matter if we talk for a while," Yang Ming said with a smile. Moreover, they disappeared directly in the room. Elder Yu wouldn't know even if he was exhausted. Unless he sent someone to open the door and enter Yang Ming's room to check. However, that was obviously impossible. As for the moment when Yang Ming disappeared and the moment when he reappeared, Yang Ming also observed it. This white light only appeared around him and Lon Ling. In other words, it only appeared before they entered the flying saucer in the room and before they exited the flying saucer and arrived at the cave entrance. At other times, it did not appear. The flying saucer itself did not emit any light, so it was impossible to be detected. This is also true. However, we should go back and rest. Lon Ling nodded and said, "Yeah, I finally found a way to deal with Elder Yu. It really makes me relieved. It turns out to be so simple. We went in the wrong direction before," Yang Ming said with emotion. "Indeed, we always wanted to deal with Elder Yu's Jin Ganggu, but we neglected to bypass his Jin Ganggu. We can also use many other ways to kill him," Lon Ling also said with emotion. "It's all thanks to Grandpa Lon." Yang Ming and Lon Ling walked out of the cave, and the flying saucer not far away suddenly activated. It appeared above Yang Ming and Lon Ling without any warning. There was no sound at all, as if it appeared out of thin air. The next moment, a white light flashed in front of Yang Ming and Lon Ling's eyes and they entered the flying saucer. Not long after, the two of them reappeared in the villa's room. The sudden appearance of these two people gave Xia Shui a big fright. After Yang Ming and Lon Ling left, Xia Shui naturally wasn't in the mood to sleep. Therefore, Xia Shui sat on the bed and waited for Yang Ming and Lon Ling to return. In the end, there was no one in front of Xia Shui, but in the blink of an eye, two people appeared out of thin air. Yeah. Xia Shui was shocked, but after seeing that the people in front of her were Lon Ling and Yang Ming, she was relieved. "You are back. So fast." "I'm back." Yang Ming nodded. His eyes were full of spirit and he didn't feel sleepy at all. "Looking at your appearance, it seems that you have found a solution." Xia Shui was worthy of being an investigator. From Yang Ming's expression, she could see some clues. "Hee, you guessed right. It is indeed a glimmer of hope at the end of the tunnel. I finally found a new way to deal with Elder Yu." Yang Ming nodded and said, "Oh. What is it?" Xia Shui was interested when she heard it and asked curiously. "Wait a minute. I will gather everyone first, then we will talk about it," said Yang Ming. He couldn't wait to share this good news with everyone. After all, everyone had been troubled by this problem for a long time. Although they seemed to be very happy every day and had nothing to do, in everyone's heart, they all wanted to kill Elder Yu as soon as possible and end this dangerous mission. "Okay, then let's call everyone." Xia Shui nodded and said. Yang Ming picked up the phone on the bedside and pressed the conference call mode. This was the internal phone in the villa. Although it couldn't connect to the outside line, it could be used as a tool for Yang Ming and others to contact each other internally. It also had the function of a conference call. After a short while, the phone call was answered. On the phone, there was a sleepy voice from everyone. Hello. I am Yang Ming. There is news. Everyone, come to my room immediately and discuss important matters together, said Yang Ming. Ah. Everyone suddenly woke up. After hearing Yang Ming's words, they immediately said that they would go to Yang Ming's room immediately. However, Yang Ming reminded, Su and Yi don't need to come. They are pregnant. Let them rest. It's okay. I want to go too. On the other side of the phone, there was Xiao Susu's somewhat impatient voice. Since Xiao Susu insisted, Yang Ming naturally wouldn't forcibly stop her. After all, Xiao Susu was also a member of this action team, so in her heart, completing the mission was also the first priority. Even if she was pregnant, it wouldn't affect her enthusiasm for completing the mission. Well, then I will wait for you in the room. Yang Ming nodded and said. Not long after, Lu Yezi, Feng Tianlong, Lin Dongfang, Lu Tianqi, Chen Xiaojing, and Xiao Susu all appeared in Yang Ming's villa one by one. Even Yi came. It seemed that Yi was also very concerned about dealing with Elder Yu. I didn't expect everyone to come so quickly. Yang Ming was surprised. Now, everyone is most concerned about this matter. When you said it, everyone was excited. How could they not come quickly? Lin Dongfang said with a wry smile, Yang Ming, tell us, what is the new news? We can't wait. Yeah, bro, is there a new way to deal with Elder Yu's variant Jin Gang Voodoo? Lu Yezi also asked anxiously. There is no way. After Yang Ming and Lu Yezi finished speaking, they shook their heads and replied, after Elder Yu's modified version of Jin Gang Voodoo, we don't have any way to deal with it. Then you. Lin Dongfang listened to Yang Ming's words and suddenly had some doubts. He didn't know what Yang Ming meant. Actually, everyone is on the wrong track. Yang Ming waved his hand and said, our previous thoughts were the same as Lu Yezi's. We were all on how to deal with Elder Yu's Jin Gang Voodoo, but have you ever thought about why we have to deal with Elder Yu's Jin Gang Voodoo? Oh. Everyone was slightly taken aback after listening to Yang Ming's words, but everyone was not stupid. Immediately, everyone showed a thoughtful expression on their faces. Yeah, why do we have to be entangled with Elder Yu's Jin Gang Voodoo? Lu Yezi nodded and said, there is a saying that all roads lead to Rome. As long as we can kill Elder Yu, it's fine. Whether we can restrain his Jin Gang Voodoo or not is completely meaningless. What we want is the final result, not the process. Chapter 2200. That's right. We just need to find a way to kill Elder Yu. As for the Jin Gang Voodoo, who cares about it? Yang Ming said with satisfaction, Yi Zi is right. That's what I want to say. Then, how do we kill Elder Yu? Lu Tianqi asked, now that Elder Yu is invulnerable, it is extremely difficult to kill him. We must break his Jin Gang Voodoo to hurt him, right? That's not necessary. Yang Ming waved his hand and said, Lan Ling's grandfather gave me a method, and that is to use voodoo. Voodoo. Everyone raised their heads in surprise and looked at Yang Ming, feeling a little incredulous. Lu Tianqi said, isn't Elder Yu proficient in voodoo? If we use voodoo on him, won't he notice it? How can we do this? Quick. Cicada. Voodoo. Yang Ming said word by word. Quick cicada voodoo. After everyone heard Yang Ming's words, they showed surprise and disbelief, especially Lin Dongfang, whose expression was even more strange. That's right, it's the quick cicada voodoo. Yang Ming nodded and said, the quick cicada voodoo is a high-level voodoo. Even Elder Yu himself knows little about it. If not, he should be able to get rid of the quick cicada voodoo in Brother Lin's body, but he doesn't have this ability. Moreover, the quick cicada voodoo in Brother Lin's body has already been taken out by me, but Elder Yu didn't raise any questions after several exchanges. That is to say, he doesn't know that the quick cicada voodoo in Brother Lin's body has been taken out. What you said makes sense. Lin Dongfang nodded and said, if he really knew, then with Elder Yu's cautious character, I'm afraid he would have suspected it long ago. It is impossible for him not to ask me, but he didn't ask, which means that he really didn't notice that the quick cicada voodoo in my body has been removed. That's great. Lu Yezi said excitedly, that is to say, if we give the quick cicada voodoo to Elder Yu, we will be fine. Yi Zi, don't celebrate too early. Yang Ming shook his head and said, giving Elder Yu the quick cicada goo is easy to say, but how difficult is it to do? Elder Yu is not a fool. He's waiting for us to implant the goo in him, but we can't find a chance to do so now. You're right. Lon Ling also nodded and said, the quick cicada goo must be consumed for it to be effective. Can Elder Yu consume this quick cicada goo? At least, I think he won't take it when he's conscious. Even if you lie to him that this is the Jin Gang goo, he has to believe it. That's true. Lu Yezi's excitement was suddenly extinguished by Yang Ming and Lon Ling. He shut his mouth gloomily. This is indeed a difficult problem. Lin Dongfang also frowned and said, back then, when Elder Yu gave me the goo, he forced me to take it, but the same method can't be used on Elder Yu. However, you can think about it. Once we succeed, Elder Yu will become an idiot. Yang Ming said, and he won't be able to solve it. Won't be able to solve it. Lin Dongfang was slightly stunned, then he thought of something and nodded with a smirk, that's right. I could use a needle to remove the goo, but when it came to Elder Yu, he was completely invulnerable. It was impossible to stab him. In this way, Elder Yu will never be able to remove the quick cicada goo unless his body is hollowed out from his mouth. Then, he will die. Ha 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 ha. After Lu Yezi, Lu Tianqi, Feng Tianlong, and others heard this, they were also amused and suddenly laughed. After laughing, everyone returned to calmness. Although they thought that after Elder Yu was poisoned with the quick cicada goo, if he knew that he was poisoned with the quick cicada goo and there was no cure, their expressions would be very interesting. However, everyone knew that Elder Yu couldn't wait for this moment. This was because the quick cicada goo had become a mature quick cicada goo. As long as it was swallowed by Elder Yu, it would immediately take effect, turning Elder Yu into an idiot with no memory. At that time, not to mention removing the quick cicada goo, he wouldn't even know what kind of goo he was poisoned with. However, all of this was based on the situation that the quick cicada goo was successfully swallowed by Elder Yu. But if everyone didn't find a way to make Elder Yu swallow the quick cicada goo, then everything was just a fantasy. Today, let's call it a day. Everyone go back and rest. Think about it and see if there are other ways to put the goo on Elder Yu. If there are, we can discuss it again. At least now we can't think of any good ideas, so it's useless to sit here," said Yang Ming. Everyone nodded. If Yang Ming didn't say it, everyone wouldn't feel sleepy. They were all thinking about Elder Yu's problem. But when Yang Ming said it, everyone was tired. They stood up and prepared to leave. Time always slipped away inadvertently. A few days passed in a flash, but everyone still didn't have a good way to put the goo on Elder Yu. Even Lon Ling, who was proficient in voodoo, had no way to put the goo on Elder Yu. At least, under Elder Yu's vigilance, it was impossible to do this. Everyone was the key target of Elder Yu's vigilance, so it was really difficult to do this. A few days had passed. Everyone had long lost the joy they had when they heard that they could use the quick cicada goo to deal with Elder Yu. Now everyone's faces were sad. They didn't know what to do. Perhaps the most painful thing was this. There was a way, but there was no way to use this method. during this period, Elder Yu also sent someone to come once. In addition to giving Yang Ming and the others some essential daily supplies, he didn't say much and left again. Yang Ming and the others didn't dare to try it. They pretended the quick cicada goo to be Jin Gang goo and deceived Elder Yu to take it. As long as Elder Yu wasn't retarded, then he could definitely distinguish the difference between the two. Songjiang City, Huashan District, Yang Ming's villa. Originally, Zhou Jiejia and Xiao Qing thought that it shouldn't be difficult to help Dong Jun investigate a phone number. With their computer knowledge and ability, it wasn't easy to do this, but it was definitely possible. However, after they investigated for 3 days, they were a little bit scared. This was because this number was all anonymous. They couldn't find out where it was transferred through. This made Zhou Jiejia and Xiao Qing feel strange. They also sighed. There was actually a problem that they couldn't solve. Chapter 2201. It seemed that the complexity of Yang Ming's phone call was not something that could be achieved by ordinary people. Perhaps Yang Ming wanted to keep it a secret, or perhaps this phone call itself was confidential. In any case, Zhou Jiejia and Xiao Qing had to give up after investigating for 2 days. When Dong Jun learned of this result, he couldn't help but be very disappointed. If he couldn't establish a connection with Yang Ming, it was likely that he would reveal a flaw when he went to Miaojiang, and Elder Yu would discover the problem. If it was announced and Dr. Benjamin knew about it, he would be in danger. However, even if he couldn't contact Yang Ming, Dong Jun had to leave because Dr. Benjamin had asked him to go to Miaojiang to investigate whether Yang Ming had special abilities. The best person to ask was Elder Yu. Only Elder Yu and Yang Ming had fought for a long time, so the one who knew Yang Ming the best was Elder Yu. In any case, Dong Jun embarked on his trip to Miaojiang with a hint of anxiety. After Elder Yu learned the news, he was naturally very excited. In front of his subordinates, he was the most powerful existence, but he couldn't show off to them. After all, in front of his subordinates, no matter what, these subordinates would blindly praise him, making Elder Yu lose the sense of authenticity and novelty. Only the praise of other people who had no relationship with him would make Elder Yu very happy. This person was Dong Jun, his former collaborator, and now the person Elder Yu wanted to see the most. He hoped that he could show off his ability in front of Dong Jun. Therefore, Elder Yu was ready to welcome Dong Jun's arrival. In the Medicine Valley, Yang Ming was so worried that his hair was about to turn white. There was a way to deal with Elder Yu, but there was no chance to implement it. This was undoubtedly a very painful thing. He could obviously deal with Elder Yu, but he couldn't do it. This made Yang Ming a little crazy. Elder Yu was an expert in voodoo, so it was impossible for Yang Ming to treat the quick cicada goo as other voodoo to deceive Elder Yu. Moreover, even if the quick cicada goo was mixed with the Jin Gang goo for Elder Yu to consume, Elder Yu would definitely not consume it so easily. After all, Elder Yu was on guard against Yang Ming and others. He would definitely take away the initial stage of Jin Gang voodoo that was refined. He would take it back and slowly observe and cultivate it. After confirming that there was no problem, he would consume it. Directly consuming it here, unless Elder Yu was stupid, it was impossible to do such a brainless thing. Of course, if Elder Yu was really so stupid, Yang Ming would not even use the quick cicada goo. He would directly use the Herculean strength goo to disguise it as the quick cicada goo and feed it to Elder Yu. Then, without the nutrient solution, Elder Yu would be powerless and collapse by himself. However, this was just a fantasy. Everyone, let's brainstorm and see if there is any good way. Yang Ming said to everyone with a sad face. Bro, let's not discuss this kind of problem. If there was a way, everyone would have already said it. How could we wait until now? Lu Yezi said with a wry smile. But I have a way, but it's a little risky. Lin Dongfang suddenly suggested. Oh. What is it? Yang Ming asked quickly. As far as I know, your glasses have an illusion function that can change your face into other appearances, said Lin Dongfang. Yes, there is such a function. Yang Ming nodded. Yang Ming had already explained the matter of the glasses to Lin Dongfang and the others. As for the matter of the big star Suya, he also got the answer from Sun Sikong. It could be said that these people all knew about Yang Ming's secret. If we can take down Elder Yu's confidant the next time he sends us living supplies, then you can disguise yourself as Elder Yu's subordinate, return to Elder Yu's place, and secretly put the quick cicada goo in Elder Yu's food. Can you complete the voodoo? Lin Dongfang said, you have X-ray vision, you can clearly see the path of the helicopter, and you can also easily find the location of the right elder, and because you are his trusted subordinate, he will not be on guard against you. In this way, when he is not on guard and swallows the fast cicada goo, wouldn't he be an idiot? Yes, this is a good idea. Yang Ming's eyes lit up, and he suddenly exclaimed while slapping his thigh. How could he have forgotten this? I can transform into anyone's appearance. When the time comes, I can transform into the appearance of Elder Yu's subordinate, and then secretly put the voodoo on him. Elder Yu can basically die without anyone knowing, impossible. When everyone was excited, Lon Ling poured cold water on everyone's head and flatly rejected Lin Dongfang's proposal. Oh. Why is it impossible? Yang Ming was stunned and asked. The others also looked at Lon Ling. This method was the only way everyone could think of, but Lon Ling said that it was impossible. This made everyone's excitement suddenly fall to the bottom. It was really bitter. Although they still hoped that Lon Ling could find some solutions, they also knew that when it came to voodoo, no one was better than Lon Ling. Because every confidant of Elder Yu will be poisoned with a harmless voodoo. This voodoo is similar to a kind of aura, which can let Elder Yu feel it at the first moment. If it is not his confidant, he can also distinguish it at the first moment. This is also to prevent spies from sneaking in or enemies secretly invading. Lon Ling explained, although Yang Ming can imitate his subordinates perfectly, Elder Yu doesn't even need to look at his appearance. He can distinguish that he's not Elder Yu's subordinate just by looking at the aura. This kind of aura, can it be imitated? Yang Ming smiled bitterly. He didn't expect there to be such a situation. This kind of harmless voodoo is similar to the aura voodoo. When it's cultivated, it adds the aura according to one's will. In our Blue Meow village, there is also such a voodoo. It's like the relationship between the key and the lock. It can also be understood as a kind of password. Only the person who put the voodoo will know. We can't get any information from his subordinates. If it can be imitated, then Blue Meow Village or Elder Yu subordinates would already be full of spies. Lon Ling shook her head and said. It turns out to be like this. It seems that it won't work. Yang Ming sighed disappointedly. Fortunately, Lon Ling is here. Otherwise, if Yang Ming really followed this method, I'm afraid it would be dangerous. Lin Dongfang smiled bitterly. God knows how Elder Yu will treat Yang Ming. Chapter 2202. Maybe he would quietly give the quick cicada voodoo to Yang Ming. At that time, Yang Ming really wanted to cry but had no tears. He couldn't even solve it. Although the nutrients secreted by the quick cicada voodoo could be used as nourishment for the Herculean voodoo, similarly, the quick cicada voodoo could also cause the whole person to become demented. Yang Ming didn't dare to try this kind of horrible thing. It seems that I still have to think of another way. Yang Ming was somewhat helpless. Even if he was full of confidence and was a very determined person, at this moment, he couldn't help but be shaken. Yes, this was the first big trouble, or rather, the biggest obstacle, the biggest enemy he had encountered since he became stronger and walked step by step toward success. Even if Yang Ming was not discouraged or complained, this kind of repeated failure was also a devastating blow to a person's confidence. The days passed in an ordinary way. The people in the Medicine Valley had nothing to do except eat, drink, and play every day. Of course, the only thing everyone could do was to find inspiration in eating, drinking, and playing. After all, to think of a way to deal with Elder Yu was not something that everyone could think of while sitting there. This kind of inspiration was sometimes a flash of brilliance, so no matter what everyone did, it was possible to think of a good way in an instant. It was just that this process was a bit long. Of course, what Yang Ming didn't know was that Dong Jun had arrived in Miaojiang. Elder Yu personally sent someone to pick up Dong Jun. Falcon, long time no see. We parted in Songjiang City, and now we meet again. How have you been? Elder Yu was obviously very excited when he saw Dong Jun. He laughed and greeted him personally. Elder Yu, I have no choice. You know, I am not alone. Behind me, there is. As Dong Jun spoke, he mysteriously pointed in the direction of the sky and said, So, I came here under the orders of the higher-ups. That is, of course, behind you, Brother Falcon, there is a great force behind you. Elder Yu also knew a thing or two about Dong Jun's background. Otherwise, if Dong Jun was just Yang Ming's senior brother and an ordinary disciple of the King of Assassins, Elder Yu wouldn't value him so much, let alone cooperate with him. This time. I'm here. Dong Jun looked around and then closed his mouth. All of you can leave. Brother Falcon and I will drink and chat here. We don't need you. Elder Yu waved to his subordinates, indicating that they could leave. Elder Yu knew that Dong Jun must have something secret to tell him, so he was naturally very cooperative. When these people left, Elder Yu invited Dong Jun into the inner room. In the room, a banquet was already set up. All kinds of sumptuous dishes were placed on the table. Obviously, Elder Yu was very enthusiastic and welcomed Dong Jun's arrival. Brother Falcon, please take a seat. Elder Yu made an inviting gesture. Dong Jun nodded and sat in the guest seat, while Elder Yu sat in the host seat. Elder Yu has prepared such a sumptuous banquet, which makes me very scared. It seems that Elder Yu gives me a lot of face, said Dong Jun. I'm afraid this small gesture won't be enough in Brother Falcon's eyes, right? Elder Yu smiled slightly. You and I don't have to be polite. We are also strategic partners. We have dealt with Yang Ming together. Now, it's just the two of us. Let's be more casual. Then I'll do as you say. Dong Jun also nodded with a smile. Brother Falcon, now, can you tell me the purpose of you coming here? Elder Yu was very curious, to be honest. He originally thought that Dong Jun just accepted his invitation and came here to play, but it wasn't so after thinking about it. He knew Dong Jun's identity. If there was nothing special, how could the forces behind him allow him to come here casually? Therefore, there must be something going on in this operation. Elder Yu, forgive me for being blunt. When you were fighting with Yang Ming, did you find any strange abilities of Yang Ming? Asked Dong Jun. Strange abilities? Elder Yu frowned. When Dong Jun called before, he had hinted and asked a similar question. At this time, he raised it again. It was definitely not an aimless question. There must be some meaning behind it. However, Elder Yu did not find any strange abilities of Yang Ming, so he said, Brother Falcon, which aspect are you referring to? To put it bluntly, it's a special ability. Dong Jun said, does Yang Ming have a similar ability? For example, something that can't be explained? This. I really didn't notice it. Elder Yu said in confusion, Brother Falcon, just tell me the truth. What's going on? You're making me confused. This is actually a mission given to me by my boss. He asked me to come and pretend to contact Yang Ming and find out if there is anything special or special abilities on him. To be honest, I don't have any news, so I asked you about it. Dong Jun said with a bitter smile, otherwise, do you think I can come here casually? This is true. However, didn't Yang Ming already know that you and he are not on the same side? Moreover, he also knows that you are the person who has repeatedly harmed him. How do you still contact him? Elder Yu asked, baffled. This is what I am worried about. Dong Jun sighed and said, Yang Ming guessed it, but my boss didn't know that Yang Ming had already guessed it. He even asked me to contact Yang Ming. If I were to tell the truth, Yang Ming would have already guessed that I am the mastermind behind dealing with him. How would I have the chance to visit you, Elder Yu? Then, I would definitely be transferred back to the headquarters. I wouldn't be able to come here to witness your power. This is true. Elder Yu listened to Dong Jun's flattery and was overjoyed. Brother, I am really happy. You even hid it from your boss for my invitation. I am really touched. Don't say this. If it were someone else, I wouldn't have come, but we are all old friends. We are dealing with Yang Ming's people together. How can I not give face? Dong Jun said generously. You are right. Elder Yu nodded and happily picked up the wine glass. He said, come, Brother Falcon, let me toast you. Okay. Dong Jun nodded and immediately picked up the wine glass. He raised it and drank it. Forthright. After Elder Yu also drank it in one gulp, he gave Dong Jun a thumbs up and praised him. Chapter 2203. Even though I am here, I don't know what to do with the mission that the higher-ups gave me. Dong Jun finished drinking a glass of wine and said with a sad face, originally, I thought that since you and Yang Ming had fought many times, I could go back and report some information from you. But it seems that you don't know anything about Yang Ming's special ability. Yeah, this is also the fault of the elder brother. I didn't pay attention before. Elder Yu said, however, now you go to Yang Ming to inquire. With Yang Ming's shrewdness, he shouldn't tell you anything. Moreover, after you go, whether you can come back or not is another matter. Yeah, after I go, I am afraid that Yang Ming will keep me here and kill me. Dong Jun smiled bitterly and said, but brother, you have to know that I'm already here. If I go back empty-handed, I'm afraid I'll be punished even more severely. Impulsiveness is the devil. Earlier, I boldly agreed to brother's invitation, but now, I'm in a dilemma. Dong Jun was originally a person who was good at disguising. If he wasn't good at this, it was impossible to deceive Fang Tian for so many years. At first, he also deceived Yang Ming. It was just that he had been with them for a long time, and he revealed some flaws. However, the opportunities for Dong Jun and Elder Yu to contact were few and far between. The number of times the two people met was limited. Most of them contacted by phone, so Dong Jun's voice was stern at the moment, and he deceived Elder Yu all of a sudden. Especially his emotional expression and tone, it made Elder Yu even more moved. Elder Yu had an illusion. That was, Dong Jun came to Miaojiang this time just for him. He came to see him act cool, and he even didn't hesitate to deceive the higher-ups. This made Elder Yu very grateful. Of course, Elder Yu was a very shrewd person, but there were several kinds of shrewdness. In front of Dong Jun, who was good at disguising, Elder Yu's shrewdness was obviously not enough. Now, it could be said that he had completely believed Dong Jun's words. However, it was no wonder. Dong Jun and Elder Yu had always been friends and collaborators, so he would not have too much hostility to Dong Jun. However, Elder Yu and Yang Ming were different. The two had always been hostile, so Elder Yu did not trust Yang Ming at all. Even if Yang Ming said and did what he did, Elder Yu's first subconscious thought was doubt. This was also the reason why Yang Ming had been defeated repeatedly, because Elder Yu didn't believe anything that Yang Ming said and did. First of all, whatever Yang Ming did, he looked at it with colored glasses, so it could only be said that Elder Yu's shrewdness varied from person to person. That's true, but don't worry. Elder brother will help you think of a way. Elder Yu said quickly, you came because of my face. Elder brother can't let you fail your mission. I have to help you think of a good way. That's great. I really thank Elder brother. Dong Jun's heart moved slightly after listening, and he said quickly with some joy. Thank you for what? This is something that I should be worried about. I brought you trouble. If I don't help you solve it, what will I be? Elder Yu waved his hand and said as if he had taken care of everything. Then, I won't say thank you. Let's think of a way together. At least, we have to deal with Yang Ming's matter. Otherwise, I will always be on tenterhooks. Said Dong Jun, in this case, I will help you think of a way now. I have a confidant who is a think tank. He is an absolutely trustworthy person around me. Let him come over and help you think about it. How about it? Asked Elder Yu. Since it is a person trusted by Elder Yu, what else can I refuse? Let him come and help. Dong Jun nodded and said. Okay. As Elder Yu said this, he took out a communicator, pressed a few buttons, and then said to the other side, you come over. Is this your own communicator? It looks quite fun. Said Dong Jun, yes, our internal mobile phone signal is blocked. Only my satellite phone can call you. Other than that, no one can contact the outside world. This is also to prevent spies from sneaking in. Elder Yu explained. I see. Dong Jun nodded. While the two were talking, a man came here respectfully, nodded to Elder Yu, and nodded to Dong Jun. He said, greetings to Elder Yu and Senior Falcon. Okay, no need to be so polite. We are not outsiders. Elder Yu waved his hand and said to Dong Jun, this is my think tank. You can call him Little Think Tank. Little Think Tank, this time, I have to ask you to think of a way for my matter. Dong Jun said this, but in fact, he had been guiding Elder Yu. He had a complete guiding plan in his heart. He could unknowingly guide the thoughts of the two people in his direction. What is the matter? I will try my best to think of a way. Said Little Think Tank. The matter is like this. Elder Yu told Little Think Tank about Dong Jun's troubles. Little Think Tank nodded and began to close his eyes and meditate. Dong Jun's troubles could be said to be simple, but it was also complicated. I have a suggestion, but this suggestion is a bit risky. I just don't know if Senior Falcon can accept it. Little Think Tank hesitated and said. Oh. What suggestion? Let me hear it. Dong Jun asked calmly. It's like this. We can use a strategy of sowing discord. Let Senior Falcon pretend to look at Yang Ming, and then deceive Yang Ming that Senior Falcon actually came to rescue Yang Ming secretly to gain Yang Ming's trust. Then, in this way, Senior Falcon can pretend to ask Yang Ming what tricks he has. In this way, we can silently get Yang Ming's tricks. Little Think Tank said, however, for this strategy, we must first let Yang Ming believe that Senior Falcon actually pretended to accept Elder Yu's invitation, and actually came to rescue him. Dong Jun laughed wildly in his heart. This think tank is really a think tank. He actually thought of the same thing as me. Dong Jun was thinking of this trick to see how he could secretly contact Yang Ming, so he did not hesitate to act before to win the sympathy of Elder Yu. However, he did not expect that before Dong Jun could guide him, the little think tank that Elder Yu found was so smart. He said what Dong Jun wanted to say, and Dong Jun did not even need to guide him. But on the surface, Dong Jun pretended to be very embarrassed. But the key problem now is that Yang Ming has already exposed me. If he had not exposed me before, this trick would have been effective. But now, if I say that I am actually here to help you, not Elder Yu, will he believe it? Chapter 2204. Yeah, there is no problem with this trick. The key is that Yang Ming must believe it. Elder Yu also nodded and said, "This." Little think tank smiled bitterly and said, "I can only think of this. As for whether Yang Ming can believe it or not, and how to believe it, I don't know much. If Senior Falcon allows, then I will be bold enough to say it again." "Okay, you say it." When Dong Jun heard that this guy still had a follow-up, he didn't have to say anything. He quickly said, "Whether you are right or not, it is very valuable for reference." "Yes." Little think tank quickly said, "In my opinion, can we let Senior Falcon find an excuse to pretend to reconcile with Yang Ming? For example, he can say that he is actually closer to Yang Ming, so he deliberately came to visit Elder Yu this time to find a way to help Yang Ming deal with Elder Yu." When Dong Jun heard this, he really wanted to slap his thigh and shout. Talent, really a fucking talent. My purpose was analyzed by you. However, on the surface, Dong Jun still looked at Little Think Tank with a shocked face. "You don't say. If this trick is used well, maybe Yang Ming will really believe it." "Haha, that's right. Little Think Tank is very powerful. His ideas are often unexpected." Elder Yu smiled proudly. "This method seems to be feasible, but to implement it, how to make Yang Ming believe you, you have to think of a way." Yeah, Yang Ming is not a fool. Dong Jun thought, "You two fools, really a pair of big fools." Indeed, but this is the only way I can think of. Otherwise, we have no other way to contact Yang Ming, and Yang Ming can't tell his secret to Senior Falcon. Little Think Tank nodded with a bitter smile. Only by gaining Yang Ming's trust can he tell all his secrets. So, only when Senior Falcon wants to deal with Elder Yu with him, he will tell his secret without reservation. Sigh, that's true. Dong Jun nodded. Elder Yu has fought with him so many times, but you haven't discovered his secret. It seems that if you want to know this secret, you must first gain the trust of Yang Ming. It seems that we have to count on you, Brother Falcon. We don't know Yang Ming as well as you do. Elder Yu said, although I can capture Yang Ming alive, it is only because of my tyrannical strength. As for Yang Ming's other secrets, I can't do anything. Although Elder Yu said so, anyone could hear the pride in his words. After all, being able to capture Yang Ming alive was also a kind of ability. To be able to do this is already not bad. Dong Jun smiled and said, if it were me, I wouldn't dare to say that I could trap Yang Ming, but Elder Yu did this. It's really amazing. Dong Jun knew that the purpose of Elder Yu asking him to come here was to see him show off, so Dong Jun didn't mind complimenting Elder Yu a little more. Anyway, there was no loss in saying good words. Instead, it could make Elder Yu happy. If Elder Yu was happy, Dong Jun could further implement his plan. Originally, Dong Jun was worried that his contact with Yang Ming would arouse Elder Yu's suspicion, so he had to use the excuse that Dr. Benjamin asked him to investigate Yang Ming. However, he didn't expect Elder Yu to call a little think tank. This guy was simply a little fool. The suggestion he made was simply tailor-made for him, Dong Jun. Little think tank, you go first. As for how Brother Lying gained the trust of Yang Ming, it is not something you can think of. After all, Brother Liang and Yang Ming have been in contact for a much longer time than you, said Elder Yu. Yes. The little think tank cupped his fist and left. Only Elder Yu and Dong Jun were left in the room. Elder Yu, this little think tank is very smart. You have such an assistant. It can be said that you are a god of fortune. Dong Jun praised. Ha, these are all small tricks. Strength is the king. Elder Yu laughed and said, as long as I have absolute strength, then wouldn't Yang Ming still be trapped by me? This is true. All strategies are nothing in front of Elder Yu. Dong Jun nodded and said, I deeply agree. Under Dong Jun's strong flattery, Elder Yu was a little complacent. However, Dong Jun wanted this effect. First, he would numb Elder Yu, then the next plan would be easy to carry out. Even if Yang Ming said that he forgave Dong Jun in front of Elder Yu, then Dong Jun would not be afraid. This was in line with the little think tank's prediction. At that time, Elder Yu would definitely think that Dong Jun had thought of a good way to make Yang Ming accept him. This meal could be said to be a happy meal for both the host and guest. After the meal, Dong Jun went to rest, and Elder Yu was also very excited. Early the next morning, Dong Jun saw Elder Yu again, but after seeing Elder Yu, he said happily, Elder Yu, I basically have the confidence to make Yang Ming believe that I am in cahoots with him. Oh? You thought of a good way? Asked Elder Yu. Yes, you should understand that Yang Ming is a soft-hearted person. So, if I make up a touching background story and say some difficulties, probably Yang Ming will forgive me. Then, at this time, I will say that in order to show my sincerity, I will work with him to deal with you. So, he will definitely not be suspicious. Said Dong Jun, oh. Yang Ming is a soft-hearted person. I can also see that this guy seems to be very nostalgic. Elder Yu nodded and said, but are you sure? Don't give yourself up there. You know, although Yang Ming is trapped by me, in fact, he is very difficult to provoke. Only a master of Jin Gang voodoo like me can make him helpless. But you. Sometimes, I can only try my best. If I don't do the things that my boss told me, I really don't have the mood to play here. Dong Jun smiled bitterly and said, in short, let's experiment. If it doesn't work, I will run away, but I think Yang Ming should believe my words. After all, I am his senior brother. Even if I don't give face to him, I still have to give face to him. We are from the same sect, that's right. Since you have decided, I won't stop you. Elder Yu nodded and said, wait a while. I will take you to see Yang Ming. At that time, let's do this. Dong Jun hesitated and said to Elder Yu, I will try my best to cooperate and flatter you. This will make it seem like I am deliberately confusing you. Chapter 2205. Deliberately confuse. Elder Yu was slightly stunned. Yeah, on my side, I will pretend to try my best to please you so that Yang Ming can see a clear contrast. Dong Jun said, Yang Ming is not stupid. He will also use reverse thinking to think about the whole thing, so I have to do some abnormal actions to make him believe that I actually want to deal with you with him. Your reverse thinking is also right. Then let's go and see Yang Ming's miserable appearance in a while. Dong Jun's words were to Elder Yu's liking. He originally wanted to show off in front of Dong Jun and let him see Yang Ming's miserable appearance. However, if Dong Jun pretended to reconcile with Yang Ming, then he couldn't be too pretentious. If Yang Ming felt that Dong Jun was faking it, then the loss outweighed the gain. However, Dong Jun proposed a reverse thinking at this time, so Elder Yu was really happy. Not only could he show off, but it also wouldn't hinder Dong Jun's plan. It was really good, killing two birds with one stone. Under Elder Yu's order, a helicopter was quickly prepared. Elder Yu and Dong Jun boarded the helicopter together, and the helicopter didn't need to be controlled by others. Elder Yu personally controlled it and flew Dong Jun in the direction of the Medicine Valley. Yang Ming, Lu Yezi, Feng Tianlong, and others were chatting in the open air when they suddenly heard the sound of the helicopter hovering. This made Yang Ming and others slightly stunned. After all, Elder Yu's men had just sent some living materials a few days ago. At this time, they came again, which made Yang Ming feel a little strange. Why did they send people again? However, Yang Ming and others didn't have the curiosity they had when they first arrived at the Medicine Valley. Now, they had the mentality of taking things as they came. Even if there was a helicopter, everyone didn't have much curiosity. They continued to do what they were supposed to do. Until the helicopter stopped in the open space, everyone raised their heads to take a look. However, at first glance, they were very surprised because Yang Ming and others were surprised to find that this time, the one flying the helicopter was actually Elder Yu himself. Moreover, what made Yang Ming's eyes widen was that Dong Jun actually followed Elder Yu out of the helicopter. Although there was no unnatural expression on Yang Ming's face, in fact, there was a storm in his heart. Why would Dong Jun appear here? How could he be by Elder Yu's side? However, Yang Ming was also a person who could hold back. Although it was strange at this time, he did not ask. If it was before Fang Tian called him, Yang Ming might have thought that Dong Jun and Elder Yu had gotten together and were preparing to join forces to find trouble with him. But now, Yang Ming already knew Dong Jun's thoughts from Fang Tian. Naturally, he wouldn't think that Dong Jun would mix with Elder Yu. Because Elder Yu couldn't provide the slightest bit of help to him, he and Elder Yu were undoubtedly courting death by being together. Therefore, after Yang Ming thought this through, he deliberately pretended not to know that Dong Jun had already repented, and said in surprise, "Senior brother? Why are you here? You aren't here to laugh at me, right?" Although Yang Ming's words were enthusiastic, they were full of sarcasm and sneer. Anyone could hear Yang Ming's dissatisfaction with Dong Jun. Yang Ming's attitude also made Dong Jun's heart relax. Sure enough, Yang Ming did not let him down. Although Yang Ming had forgiven him, at least in front of Elder Yu, Yang Ming did not mention those things at all. Instead, he pretended to be hostile to Dong Jun. "Haha, Yang Ming, do you know? I've endured you for a long time, but you've finally been defeated by the wise and mighty Elder Yu, and have been trapped here by him." Dong Jun laughed loudly and said, "Seeing you also have this day, I'm really too happy." Yang Ming was inexplicable in his heart. Is this guy looking for death? Or he doesn't want to cooperate with me? However, these were obviously impossible. Dong Jun was not such a retarded person, so Yang Ming still said calmly, "You are here to laugh at me? And then mock and ridicule me? Yang Ming, you are now a prisoner, and you are still stubborn." Elder Yu interrupted at this moment, "You are now trapped here. You should study Jin Gang Voodoo for me peacefully. I invited Lai, Brother Dong Jun, to come here to let him see your miserable appearance. Since you have guessed that he is the person who is dealing with you behind the scenes, then I will let you see who is the final winner of this battle." "Oh." Yang Ming responded lazily, as if he did not take Elder Yu's words to heart. "We are studying other ways to deal with you, and there will be results soon. At that time, I will continue to deal with you." "Ha!" Elder Yu sneered sarcastically and said, "Since you don't know how to live, then continue. I think you won't give up until you see the Yellow River. You have failed so many times, but you still don't give up. You have a spirit of perseverance." "Humph." Yang Ming snorted coldly and did not look at Elder Yu. Instead, he turned to look at Dong Jun. "Senior brother, does Master know that you are here?" "Master? He naturally doesn't know." Dong Jun was stunned and said, I didn't expect it to be you. I was just guessing before. Now that I see you, I know that you and Elder Yu have been in cahoots for a long time. If I knew this, I would have been wary of you. Yang Ming shook his head and said, forget it. You can go. I don't want to kill you, but I don't want to see you again in the future. Yang Ming's words made Elder Yu happy. What he was most worried about was Dong Jun's safety. He was afraid that Dong Jun could not gain Yang Ming's trust and was killed by Yang Ming instead. Then, it would be a loss. But now, it seemed that Yang Ming did not have the intention to kill Dong Jun at all. Instead, he let Dong Jun leave, which also made Elder Yu feel relieved. Yang Ming, you don't have to be so heartless. In fact, we still have some feelings for each other as fellow disciples. You can only blame your appearance for blocking my path, so I have to find a way to get rid of you. Dong Jun sighed and said, however, fortunately, we are fellow disciples. I will stay in a while and drink with you. It is also a memorial ceremony for our last friendship. Memorial ceremony. Yang Ming's mouth showed a trace of ridicule. Do you mean that I will definitely die? This. Dong Jun smiled bitterly and did not answer Yang Ming's question. Yang Ming, whether you die or not is in your own hands. If you want to live, it is best to refine Jin Ganggu. Elder Yu said, Brother Dong Jun, you should also persuade Yang Ming to refine Jin Ganggu for me as soon as possible. This is his only hope. Chapter 2206. It turns out that you asked my senior brother, Dong Jun, to come here because you want to be a lobbyist. Yang Ming shook his head and said, no matter what you think, if you want to think this way, then think this way. Anyway, you better cooperate with me, otherwise, you know the consequences. Elder Yu said, I asked Brother Dong Jun to come here to let you understand your situation more clearly. Well, then I want to see what conditions your senior brother can offer that will move me and make me obediently refine the Jin Ganggu. Yang Ming smiled faintly and no longer argued with Elder Yu. Elder Yu, do you want to drink with me? I won't drink. Let your senior brother accompany you here. Elder Yu was helping Dong Jun to act. How could he stay at this time? If he stayed, how could Dong Jun betray and discuss the plan to deal with him with Yang Ming? Moreover, Elder Yu did not expect that Yang Ming could refine the Jin Ganggu obediently, but when he saw Dong Jun at this time, he suddenly felt that this might be an opportunity for Dong Jun and Yang Ming to cooperate while persuading Yang Ming to refine the Jin Ganggu. On the surface, it was for Dong Jun to eat, but in fact, thinking of this possibility, Elder Yu was a little excited. He winked at Dong Jun and said, Brother Dong Jun, you stay here and help me persuade Yang Ming. Let him refine the Jin Ganggu. By then, both you and I will have a share. Okay, no problem. Don't worry, Brother Yu. Dong Jun nodded with a look of understanding. When Elder Yu saw Dong Jun's appearance, he was relieved. He turned around and walked quickly to the helicopter, and he quickly boarded the helicopter. Not long after, the roar of the helicopter's motor was heard. Elder Yu drove the helicopter away without saying a word. Dong Jun did not speak, and neither did Yang Ming. At this moment, Yang Ming was looking up at Elder Yu's helicopter. He watched as Elder Yu's helicopter drove out of the range of the Medicine Valley. Even with binoculars, he could not see the situation here. Yang Ming grinned at Dong Jun. At the same time, Dong Jun also showed a smile. Senior brother. Yang Ming smiled and greeted Dong Jun. He did not have the previous sarcastic and hostile tone. Instead, it was a kind of intimacy and peace. What senior brother? You will be my senior brother in the future. Dong Jun smiled and said, our sex rules. Whoever inherits the title of the King of Assassins is the senior brother, and the others are the junior brothers, so I will call you senior brother in the future. Well, as you wish. Yang Ming knew that this was the sex rule, and it was not easy to deliberately change it, but senior brother and junior brother are a bit messy. I will call you Dong Jun, and you can call me Yang Ming. It is more intimate this way. Alright, you are the senior brother. You can say whatever you want. Dong Jun nodded and said, Yang Ming, you are amazing. You immediately knew that Elder Yu and I were not on the same side, and you even cooperated with us to act. Oh. Yang Ming smiled, I have talked to my master, and I know what you mean. You have deep difficulties and can't help it, so I forgive you. I also promise to help you face the forces behind you, so that you can escape from them and live a normal life. So, how can you still cooperate with the idiot Elder Yu? Idiot? Yes, he is an idiot. Dong Jun thought that Elder Yu was fooled by him and Yang Ming, and suddenly showed a smile. Right, Dong Jun, how can you gain the trust of Elder Yu and let him put you here alone? Aren't you afraid that you and I will join forces? Yang Ming looked at Dong Jun strangely and asked. He thought, I was right to scold Dong Jun. Elder Yu is really a big idiot. It's a long story. The situation at the time was like this. Dong Jun did not hide. Since he chose to cooperate with Yang Ming, he naturally would not hide anything from Yang Ming, so he told Yang Ming how he got in touch with Elder Yu, how Elder Yu invited him, and how he deceived Elder Yu's trust. Puff. Yang Ming couldn't help but laugh after listening. Elder Yu asked you to act with me, but in fact, we acted for him. As far as I know, Elder Yu is a cautious person, right? He wouldn't do such a stupid thing, right? Although he scolded Elder Yu in his heart, Yang Ming felt that Elder Yu was not a fool. Judging from the few things he did before, Elder Yu was a very smart person. That's right. He is too confident. Dong Jun nodded and said, he is indeed very cautious, but his mistake is in his arrogance and self-confidence. He would never have thought that you would be able to contact me and Master in this secluded Medicine Valley. Furthermore, he would never have thought that you and I would be able to contend against him if we joined forces. Indeed. Yang Ming nodded. Dong Jun's words were reasonable. Elder Yu locked Yang Ming and others here. He never suspected that Yang Ming might be in contact with the outside world, let alone think that Yang Ming and others plus Dong Jun were his opponents. Never mind Dong Jun, even if Fang Tian came in person, he couldn't do anything to Elder Yu. Even the Vigor Voodoo was not Elder Yu's opponent now. Who else could compete with Elder Yu? Dong Jun was just a person he found to watch him show off his strength. He didn't think that Dong Jun would pose any threat to him. Yang Ming, since everyone knows the ins and outs, then let's make it short. What can I help you with? Dong Jun said, I understand the situation here. Let's see if we can find a way to solve Elder Yu together. For Dong Jun, the most important thing for Dong Jun was to solve Elder Yu, Yang Ming's biggest problem. Only then could Yang Ming help him wholeheartedly to fight against Central. This was the most important thing for Dong Jun. The situation is not optimistic. Yang Ming smiled bitterly and shook his head to Dong Jun. He said, there is a way, but it is not easy to implement. Oh? Why do you say that? Asked Dong Jun. Since you are here, then let's sit down and talk slowly. Yang Ming turned to Xia Shui and others and said, Xia Shui, Ling Ling, you prepare some wine and dishes. I will have a drink with Dong Jun and talk about dealing with Elder Yu. Okay. Xia Shui knew that Yang Ming had something important to discuss with Dong Jun, so she quickly went to prepare the wine and dishes with Lan Ling. There were a lot of delicious food and drinks here, all sent by Elder Yu. At this time, they became the delicacies of Yang Ming, Dong Jun, and others. Chapter 2207. The food was ready-made. Xia Shui and Lan Ling made a barbecue buffet. After the fire was lit, they could eat. Dong Jun, Yang Ming, Lin Dongfang, Lu Yezi, and the others sat next to the fire. As for Yi and Xiao Susu, they went back to rest. They were pregnant, so it was not good for them to stay here. Yang Ming, to be honest, this is the first time I sat with you so openly and ate with you. In the past, my contact with you was cautious and purposeful. I have never been as relaxed as today. Dong Jun breathed a sigh of relief. Looking at the delicious food on the table, he said sincerely, although I haven't eaten yet, my mood is completely different. Thank you for forgiving me, really. Hee, Dong Jun. Junior brother, in fact, once you think it through and let go of the obsession and burden in your heart, there is nothing left. Yang Ming smiled and said, I understand your previous difficulties, so after Master told me the truth, I chose to forgive you without hesitation. Because I know that your nature is not bad. You want to leave that organization and live a normal life for your sister, Alice. This is not wrong. I understand you. If I were in your shoes, I would also do my best by any means possible. Sometimes, there was no right or wrong. Dong Jun looked at the problem from his perspective, so it could not be said that what he did was wrong. Just like Yang Ming, when he was against Wang Xiaoyan, he also killed several of Wang Xiaoyan's underlings with strong means. Even Wang Xiaoyan herself was forcefully slept with by Yang Ming. Although Wang Xiaoyan and he became a couple later, and the ending was very happy, they could be said to be enemies before that. In this, it could not be said that Wang Xiaoyan was wrong, and it could not be said that Yang Ming was wrong. Some things had different results from different perspectives. So at this time, Yang Ming would forgive Dong Jun so decisively. Thank you, Yang Ming. Dong Jun clasped his fist excitedly. You don't have to thank me. We are all brothers in the same trench in the future. Hee, we are originally brothers. Yang Ming smiled. Yes, senior brother, my thoughts were too simple before. I thought that I could make Central compromise and let me and my sister go with the power of the butterfly family after I became the king of assassins. But at that time, I was too ignorant. My understanding of Central was just the tip of the iceberg. Dong smiled bitterly. Now it seems that this is really nothing in Central's eyes, so I don't know if you have the power to make Central compromise. Let's talk about this when we get back. At present, it seems that the biggest enemy is still Elder Yu. Only by killing Elder Yu first will I have the time to think about the Central issue. Yang Ming said, but I have also fought with Central a few times. I have also taken the Jin Gang voodoo and the simplified version of the Herculean voodoo. I should have some authority in front of Central. Right, senior brother Yang Ming, you said before that you have a way to deal with Elder Yu, but you can't implement it. What's going on? Is there any difficulty? Dong Jun said, tell me and see if I have any ideas. I was going to tell you even if you didn't ask. Yang Ming nodded and said, this is the case. Elder Yu is invulnerable now. Yang Ming first told Dong Jun about Elder Yu's situation. Sure enough, Dong Jun nodded after listening and said, I also know this. Elder Yu bragged to me before. His situation is really difficult for us. But Lan Ling's grandfather told me a good idea. Yang Ming said, our vision was too limited before. We only focused on how to break Elder Yu's Jin Gang voodoo. We thought that only by breaking the Jin Gang voodoo can we deal with Elder Yu. In fact, we can bypass the Jin Gang voodoo and use other methods to deal with him. Oh. What method? Dong Jun's eyes lit up, and he somewhat understood Yang Ming's meaning. Use voodoo. Yang Ming told Dong Jun the method that Lan Ling's grandfather said, and then smiled bitterly. There is a way, but there is no opportunity. How can we put this quick cicada voodoo on Elder Yu's body and let him swallow it? This is a difficult problem. Ha! Dong Jun suddenly laughed and said with some excitement, I thought it was a difficult problem. It turns out to be this. This is simply too simple. Too simple. Yang Ming was slightly stunned. Suddenly, he looked at Dong Jun with a strange gaze. You mean, don't forget what my special skill is. Dong Jun said, as long as you give me the quick cicada voodoo, I can put it in Elder Yu's food without anyone noticing and let him swallow it. Moreover, Elder Yu doesn't guard against me at all. It is actually very easy to do this. Yes, you are a top-notch thief. Yang Ming slammed the table and was very excited. How did I forget this? He doesn't guard against you now. With your means, it is really easy to use voodoo on Elder Yu. Leave this matter to me. I promise to do it properly. Dong Jun said, if it were other things, I wouldn't dare to guarantee, but this matter is too easy. There is definitely no problem. Lu Yezi, Lin Dongfang, Lu Tianqi, and others who were at the same table with Yang Ming did not expect that the biggest difficulty that troubled everyone for many days was not difficult at all for Dong Jun. It was an extremely easy matter. They were a little dumbfounded. They didn't know whether to be happy or not. It was solved just like that. At this moment, Yang Ming was also secretly rejoicing in his heart. My soft-heartedness is not a problem. If I didn't let Dong Jun go, Dong Jun wouldn't have come to Miaojiang to help me. If Dong Jun didn't come, I wouldn't have had the chance to use voodoo on Elder Yu. All of this was changed by my thoughts. This really made Yang Ming feel emotional. It seems that this problem of mine is not a problem at all sometimes. At the critical moment, it actually becomes a life-saving means. It seems that junior brother Dong Jun, I forgave you. It is the best choice I made. Yang Ming said with emotion, I didn't expect that in my opinion, such a troublesome thing is just a piece of cake for you. Don't say that. I just happened to be there. If Elder Yu didn't trust me, I wouldn't have been able to complete this voodoo. But who asked this guy to be stupid? He always wanted to show off in front of me. Now, it's great. The thing he regrets the most in his life is inviting me. Dong Jun said with a smile. Chapter 2208. Dong Jun's words made Yang Ming dumbfounded. However, it could be seen from the side that Elder Yu was a lonely person. His only friend was Dong Jun, his former partner. He had no one else to show off. Except for himself, the rest were his subordinates. They feared him and fawned over him. Even if he wanted to show off, he couldn't. In front of a group of subordinates who would flatter him no matter what he did, life was really powerless. What made Yang Ming feel sad was that in this way, even if Elder Yu defeated Lan Miao Village, what was the point of planning Lan Miao Village's territory into his Miao Village? Just like Dugu Qiubai in the novel, he already had unparalleled martial arts, but he didn't seem to be very happy. Elder Yu was probably the same. Even if he took the complete version of the Jin Gang Voodoo and merged with the evil Jin Gang Voodoo in his body, he could have a body more indestructible than the Jin Gang Voodoo without using blood sacrifice. What was the point? He didn't seem to be very happy. Otherwise, he wouldn't have invited Dong Jun here to watch him show off. It could be imagined how bored Elder Yu was. Although it couldn't be said to be the level of a kindergarten, it was at least the level of Wang Jitao and Chenafu. I didn't expect it to be solved like this. Lin Dongfang took the quick cicada voodoo and separated it from the secreted nutrient solution. Then, he put the quick cicada voodoo in a small bottle and handed it to Dong Jun. He said with some regret, "This is the quick cicada voodoo. It's a pity that it can't be used to secrete nutrient solution in the future. This nutrient solution is only in such a small bottle. Once it's used up, there will be no more. Moreover, it doesn't preserve the quality. Dong Jun also heard Yang Ming talk about the Hercules voodoo before. He knew that if the Hercules voodoo wanted to be maintained, there must be a nutrient solution. However, he didn't know the details, so he didn't answer. Yang Ming sighed. Now that the swift cicada goo had been used up, it was destined that the nutrient solution would be gone in the future. Moreover, the nutrient solution had a time limit. Under normal circumstances, it would lose its effect after a few dozen hours. Although they had recently discovered a way to preserve the nutrient solution for a longer period of time, there was a limit to how long it could last. Everyone discovered that if they used the bottle of spirit spring water to soak the nutrient solution, they would be able to maintain the activity of the nutrient solution. If they mixed the spring water with the nutrient solution, they would be able to maintain the activity of the nutrient solution for about a month. But now, there was only one small bottle left. They were afraid that they could only use it at a critical moment. However, although Yang Ming felt that it was a pity, he could see that Lin Dongfang didn't regret it. Since he chose to use the Herculean venomous worm, he had already planned to stay in this area forever, so he didn't say anything more. He just said, "Junior brother Dong Jun, then I'll have to trouble you. This time, success or failure depends on you. Don't worry. I will be careful." Dong Jun nodded and said seriously, "Senior brother Yang Ming, you can also treat this as a test of my ability. If I successfully complete this mission, it means that I am still useful. I hope you can do your best to help me and Alice escape from Central and become free people." "Dong Jun, don't say that. If it doesn't work this time, we will think of other ways. I said that I will help you, so I will definitely help you," said Yang Ming. In fact, it should not be difficult for Yang Ming to help Dong Jun and Alice escape from Central. After all, Yang Ming's purpose was not to let Central perish, but to negotiate with them. He would use force to deter them and let them give up Dong Jun and Alice. This was much simpler than dealing with Elder Yu. As for Yang Ming, if it weren't to get rid of Elder Yu, it would be easy for him to escape. As long as he sat on Dr. Sun Sikong's flying saucer, he could leave the Medicine Valley directly. At that time, Elder Yu couldn't do anything to Yang Ming, and Yang Ming couldn't do anything to Elder Yu. The two people would mind their own business, but that was inconsistent with Yang Ming's mission. Therefore, Yang Ming must deal with Elder Yu, but Central was different. As long as Dr. Benjamin let Dong Jun and Alice go, Yang Ming didn't want to fight to the death with him. Yang Ming was not Ultraman or Spider-Man. As long as it did not endanger the interests and safety of himself and his friends, he would not go to Central to fight monsters. This was also why Yang Ming was confident, but what Yang Ming didn't know was that Dr. Benjamin had already shifted his attention to him. He suspected that Yang Ming had a connection with Sun Sikong and Suya. Even Yang Ming's skills and abilities came from Sun Sikong. Therefore, even if Yang Ming let Dr. Benjamin go, Dr. Benjamin would not let Yang Ming go. The hatred between the two had already been buried. Yang Ming's idea was obviously too simple. Early the next morning, Elder Yu's helicopter came to the Medicine Valley again, and Dong Jun was ready to leave. "Ha ha ha, Dong Jun, how was it? Did you help me persuade Yang Ming? Helping me refine Jin Gang Voodoo is his only way out. Otherwise, he will stay in this place for the rest of his life." Elder Yu got off the helicopter and said to Dong Jun with a laugh. Dong Jun winked at Elder Yu and gave him a wink. Then, he said, "Yang Ming, this person, although his character is stubborn, he also told me yesterday that what he is worried about is that after he refines Jin Gang Voodoo for you and you get Jin Gang Voodoo, you won't need them anymore. You will imprison them in the Medicine Valley forever." Although Elder Yu and Dong Jun were echoing each other here, when he saw Dong Jun's wink, his heart was relieved. It seemed that Dong Jun had gotten some of Yang Ming's trump cards, so he continued, "Oh, actually, as long as they develop Gene Gang Voodoo, I can let them go, but the premise is that they can't take away any information and voodoo test subjects here." Yang Ming also told me his conditions. "So, Elder Yu, let's go back and talk about it in detail," said Dong Jun. "All right." Elder Yu nodded and said, "Then, let's get on the plane." Yang Ming stood not far away, expressionless. This expression was also in line with Elder Yu's consistent impression of Yang Ming. Yang Ming was such a person. Elder Yu found it funny in his heart. "Yang Ming, oh Yang Ming, you always deliberately want to deal with me, but you are always one step behind me. I am always one step ahead of you. You still want Dong Jun to help you deal with me. You are really a fool." Elder Yu and Dong Jun got on the helicopter. The helicopter took off and left the Medicine Valley. Yang Ming looked at the helicopter in the distance, and a sneer appeared at the corner of his mouth. Chapter 2209. Elder Yu, I'm afraid you didn't expect it even in your dreams, right? Yang Ming shook his head and said with some regret. The person you invited to watch you act pretentious has become a ghost who chases after your life. Bro, do you think Brother Dong Jun can complete the mission? Lu Yezi hesitated and asked. There should be no problem. Yang Ming said, he is the world's top thief. He even deceived me many times. Although his martial arts is not as good as mine, his stealing skills are definitely better than mine. Therefore, I think this mission is easy for him. The most important problem is that Elder Yu is not on guard against him, so it is easy to succeed. As for us, Elder Yu is on guard again and again, so we don't have any chance. No matter what we do, Elder Yu will be suspicious. Elder Yu said. That's true, but Elder Yu is such a careful person. If he can be tricked, it will be a happy thing. Lu Yezi laughed. He is being careful, but he is being careful towards us. As for someone who has worked together with him many times to kill me, it is impossible for him to guard against him. In his opinion, Dong Jun and he have the same goal, which is to kill me. So, what is there for him to guard against? Yang Ming sighed. This Elder Yu is quite pitiful. After he eats the quick cicada goo, let him live out his old age in peace. There is nothing to be afraid of with his life. Lin Dongfang and Feng Tianlong drove to keep the bottle of nutrient solution in the spring water. This was the only bottle of nutrient solution, so Yang Ming and others unanimously decided to use it at the most critical moment. Unless it was a last resort, they would keep it. So every few days, Lin Dongfang would drive to the spirit spring to get some spring water to drink. Fortunately, the current battery car had been modified by Dr. Sun Sikong. Its speed was unusually fast, and it didn't take much time to go back and forth. On the helicopter. How is it, Brother Falcon? Does Yang Ming believe you? Did you get any useful information? Asked Elder Yu. AI. Yang Ming is very smart. Although I told him in private that I was actually an undercover and wanted to deal with him, Yang Ming didn't seem to believe what I said. He didn't comment on what I said and didn't reveal any useful information. He didn't do anything to me. He entertained me with good food and drinks all night and accompanied me to drink a lot of wine, but he didn't tell me the truth. Dong Jun sighed and said helplessly. Oh, this is in line with Yang Ming's character. This guy is very careful. He is not so easy to fool. You suddenly appeared here and said that you want to help him deal with me. If I were Yang Ming, I wouldn't completely believe you. Elder Yu nodded and said, but I think that Yang Ming should still believe your words a little, but he is not sure, so he doesn't want to say more. Otherwise, why did Yang Ming not only not trouble you, but also entertain you with good food and drinks? This is also true, but it can't be ruled out that he is afraid of you, Elder Yu. He wouldn't dare to do anything to me in the Medicine Valley, said Dong Jun. No, I know Yang Ming. He is a very fierce person. Is he afraid of me? If he was afraid of me, he wouldn't have repeatedly found opportunities to deal with me. He can't do anything to me now, and he also knows that not only can he not do anything, but I also can't do anything to him. After all, I asked him to help me refine the Hercules voodoo, so I can't do anything to him now. He is confronting me like this, so it's really not my fault that he didn't do anything to you. Elder Yu shook his head. Although he was arrogant, he was not brainless. He still understood Yang Ming's mentality very well. Oh. So. Yang Ming may be dubious, but he didn't say too much when he wasn't sure which side I was on. Dong Jun said this, but he sneered in his heart. He thought, of course, he is not afraid of you. He wants me to deal with you. That's right. So, when you go back this time, find a little think tank to analyze it again. If you don't succeed this time, then go a few more times. If you go more often, Yang Ming will be less guarded against you. Maybe you can reveal some of his secrets. Elder Yu said, in this way, knowing his trump cards and secrets, I can also have some confidence and be more at ease. That's also true. Dong Jun nodded and said, however, then I will have to trouble Elder Yu for a long time. You won't mind me eating and drinking here for free, right? Ha, Brother Falcon, what are you talking about? You know, having a friend who can deal with Yang Ming with me, drinking with me, and watching Yang Ming's painful appearance together is the greatest joy. Elder Yu laughed and said, let's go, after we go back, let's drink a few more cups. We won't stop until we are drunk. Then, I won't be polite. Dong Jun chuckled and nodded. By the way, did Yang Ming say when he will help me refine the Jin Gang voodoo? Elder Yu asked. He said this, but Yang Ming also said that he can focus on refining the Jin Gang voodoo, but he is afraid that you will regret it at that time and not let him leave. Dong Jun said. Sigh, this is indeed a problem. Elder Yu nodded and said, to be honest, I didn't intend to let them leave. Even if the Jin Gang voodoo refinement is successful, I won't let them go easily. After all, Yang Ming's threat to me is too great. Just like Lan Hai of Blue Miao Village, as long as I don't kill him, I always feel that he may find an opportunity to deal with me, so I can't let the tiger return to the mountain. That is simply endless trouble in the future. Dong Jun sneered in his heart after listening to Elder Yu's words. This Elder Yu is not stupid. He also knows the principle of letting the tiger return to the mountain, and he can actually think of Lan Hai's threat to him. However, this time, it was indeed Lan Hai who thought of a way to deal with Elder Yu, but Dong Jun naturally would not say these words to Elder Yu. However, even if you don't let him go, at least find a reason to let him see some hope. Otherwise, he won't help you refine voodoo with peace of mind. Dong Jun said, I understand Yang Ming. If he can't see hope, it is useless even if you promise him extravagantly. It can be said that he won't act without seeing the hair. I'm afraid it won't work to deceive him with simple excuses. Yeah, let's go back and discuss with the little think tank. Although Elder Yu was very cunning and treacherous, he was not very good when it came to wisdom. Fortunately, there was a little think tank by his side who could give advice. In a while, he could ask the little think tank to help analyze it. Thinking of this, Elder Yu stopped talking and concentrated on flying the helicopter. Chapter 22:10. Elder Yu returned to the base with Dong Jun, and he called Little Think Tank over without any delay. Elder Yu, Mr. Falcon, you are back. After Little Think Tank greeted them respectfully, he said, Elder Yu, what are you looking for me for? And, it's still the previous matter. I want to discuss it with you. Elder Yu nodded and said, Brother Falcon, tell little think tank about Yang Ming's situation and current difficulties. After Elder Yu returned to his base, he began to act pretentious again. These troubles and difficulties were obviously his and Dong Jun's, but he said that it was Dong Jun's alone. He even asked Dong Jun to consult his subordinates. He obviously enjoyed the feeling of being in a superior position. However, Dong Jun was too lazy to care about these things. He nodded and said, the matter is like this. As he spoke, Dong Jun repeated what he said to little think tank on the helicopter, including Yang Ming's doubts about him, and how to let Yang Ming see hope and help Elder Yu refine Jin Gang Voodoo. He told little think tank all the problems. So it's like this. Little think tank nodded and fell into contemplation. Dong Jun and Elder Yu did not disturb him, and quietly waited for little think tank's answer. After a while, little think tank's eyes suddenly lit up, and he said, I got it, I thought of a way to get the best of both worlds. What is the way? Dong Jun and Elder Yu were both delighted and asked quickly. Elder Yu was delighted that little think tank really found a way, and Dong Jun was delighted that little think tank quickly found a way and left quickly, so that he could drink with Elder Yu and then put voodoo in Elder Yu. So, didn't Mr. Falcon say in front of Yang Ming that he would help him deal with Elder Yu? Little think tank said, in this way, as you said, during this time, Mr. Falcon would go to the Medicine Valley every now and then and talk with Yang Ming about the plan to deal with Elder Yu. First, he would cultivate their relationship. At this time, we can use a trick to sow discord. When Yang Ming mistakenly thinks that Mr. Falcon is with him, let Mr. Falcon persuade Yang Ming to refine Jin Gang Voodoo. The purpose of this is to confuse Elder Yu. Oh. What do you mean? Elder Yu seemed to understand little think tank's plan. In this way, we can let Mr. Falcon say to Yang Ming that his purpose of meeting Yang Ming is to act as Elder Yu's lobbyist and get Yang Ming to help refine Jin Gang Voodoo. But Mr. Falcon's real purpose is to help Yang Ming deal with Elder Yu. Little think tank said, and if he comes many times, Yang Ming will inevitably be exposed if Yang Ming doesn't react. In this way, if Yang Ming can start refining Jin Gang Voodoo under his persuasion, it will also confuse Elder Yu. Yes, good idea. Elder Yu nodded and said happily, in this way, Brother Dong Jun not only obtained Yang Ming's trust, but also can get Yang Ming to help me refine Jin Gang Voodoo. It is really killing two birds with one stone. Oh. This is worth a try. As expected of little think tank, you actually came up with this method of killing two birds with one stone. In this way, while Yang Ming cooperates with me, in order to confuse Elder Yu, he has no choice but to start refining Jin Gang Voodoo, and I can also investigate Yang Ming's secret and trump card. Dong Jun praised on the surface, but he despised this little think tank in his heart. Good idea, my ass. Do you think Yang Ming is so stupid? Just because he is confused, he will really be confused. Even if he wants to be confused, he won't really refine Jin Gang Voodoo. He will definitely pretend to fail continuously. However, Dong Jun and Elder Yu were not on the same side now. He was too lazy to say this to Elder Yu. Moreover, the success of little think tank's plan was no longer important. After tonight, Elder Yu will become an idiot, and the matter will be resolved. Of course, little think tank is my favorite strategist. Elder Yu nodded and said, Elder Yu is too kind. Little think tank smiled respectfully. Well, since I have thought of a good idea, then I am relieved. In this way, I will go to the Medicine Valley again early in the morning and continue to build a relationship with Yang Ming. Dong Jun said, we can also fake a promise to Yang Ming, but after I go there and help you convey this promise, I will directly expose this promise. This can also make Yang Ming feel that I am on the same side as him. This is easy, you can just say whatever you want. Say that I agree to let them leave after he refines Jin Gang Voodoo. Elder Yu waved his hand and said, "The more flaws in the excuse, the more Yang Ming will definitely not believe it. If you help him expose it, he will not doubt you." "Okay, I will just make up an excuse." Dong Jun nodded. In fact, he didn't want to talk nonsense. Why make up an excuse? After today, Elder Yu would become an idiot, and all the plans would be in vain. "Well, Mr. Falcon, I will help you prepare the helicopter. You will go to the Medicine Valley early in the morning." Little Think Tank nodded and said, "You can go now, Little Think Tank. Check the helicopter properly, fill it with fuel, and then get someone to prepare some dishes. Today, I am very happy. I will drink with Brother Falcon until we are drunk." Elder Yu said. "No problem, drink until we are drunk," Dong Jun said with a laugh. Under Elder Yu's order, the people of the entire Miao village moved. After a while, a table of delicious food was placed on the table. Elder Yu raised his wine glass and said to Dong Jun, "Brother Falcon, come, to celebrate that we found a good way to deal with Yang Ming. Cheers." "Okay, cheers." Dong Jun smiled and raised his wine glass. The two people's glasses clinked and they both drank. After eating 2 mouthfuls of food, Dong Jun sighed, "I say, Elder Yu, your life here is really leisurely. Speaking of which, I am a little envious. Food, wine, and such a comfortable environment. It is really a heaven on earth." "Ha, Brother Falcon, you don't have to be envious. If you are willing, you can live here with me. Drinking and chatting with me every day is also a great joy in life." Elder Yu laughed. "I want to, but you also know that sometimes, people in the underworld have no choice. I am not as free as you. The person behind me can't let me stay here forever. After I settle the matter with Yang Ming, I still have to go back." Dong Jun sighed and said, I can't do anything about the matter behind you." Elder Yu said, "But now, let's drink 2 more glasses. There is wine in life, so let's enjoy it." Dong Jun's heart was full of disdain. This was the difference between Elder Yu and Yang Ming. Although Elder Yu's ability was great, he never helped others enthusiastically. Chapter 22:11. If Dong Jun didn't have a common goal with him, they probably wouldn't have crossed paths. If Elder Yu was asked to help him negotiate with Dr. Benjamin, with Elder Yu's ability, Dr. Benjamin should give him face. After all, in the face of such an invulnerable monster, no one wanted to offend him. You couldn't kill him, but he could kill you at any time. This feeling was more terrifying than being targeted by an assassin. As long as Dr. Benjamin and Elder Yu didn't have that kind of deep hatred that couldn't be resolved, they would probably give face. It was better to squash enmity than to keep it alive. Dr. Benjamin was not mentally ill. Wouldn't it be looking for trouble if he made enemies with someone he didn't know, especially with such a terrifying existence? However, Dong Jun knew that with Elder Yu's character, he would definitely not help him with this. Just like just now, when Dong Jun cooperated with Elder Yu, he revealed several times that he wanted Elder Yu to help him with something, but Elder Yu directly refused. This was also the reason why Dong Jun was determined to turn against Elder Yu and help Yang Ming. Yang Ming was a friend that could be made. It could be said that Dong Jun was the luckiest person in his life to meet him. Elder Yu could only be regarded as a partner in interests. If there were interests, they would cooperate. If there were no interests, then they would be enemies. It's okay. Since I joined this organization, I naturally have to listen to the orders of the higher-ups. It is impossible to leave. Dong Jun laughed and said, "If I had the strength of Elder Yu, then I am afraid I could leave the organization and live this leisurely life. Brother Falcon, I won't hide it from you. The strength behind you is too terrifying." I can't do anything. Elder Yu said with a laugh. Dong Jun sneered in his heart. He had long known that Elder Yu would answer like this, but he asked again to increase his confidence in making a move on Elder Yu. After all, the two were partners before. They had known each other for so long. Dong Jun still felt a little guilty about making a move on him. Although he had to do it, Elder Yu's words at this moment undoubtedly made Dong Jun feel relieved. This old thing was incomparably treacherous. When it came to his own interests, he cared more than anyone else. When it came to helping others, he made all sorts of excuses. Even if he had the strength, he wasn't willing to help. What the hell? However, Dong Jun's expression was very calm. There was nothing wrong with it. He only lightly said, "Haha, I know. I was just casually speaking. Let's drink." Okay, let's continue drinking. Elder Yu saw that Dong Jun no longer mentioned this matter. He was happy to be idle and didn't say anything. Elder Yu did not have any special ability, so it was naturally impossible for him to remain sober after 1,000 cups. He would get drunk after drinking too much. Thus, he started to become a little muddle-headed after drinking a few cups. He was a little tongue-tied when he spoke. "Brother Liang, this time, the task of getting Yang Ming to refine goo will be handed to you. Once it's done, I'll definitely reward you." Hee, don't mention it. Yang Ming is also my enemy. Helping you is helping myself. What reward is there to talk about? Dong Jun also pretended to be drunk and said excitedly. In fact, Dong Jun was not drunk. He was a godly thief and was trained by the center. He was best at concealment and disguise. He seemed to have drunk a lot of wine, but in fact, the wine did not enter his stomach. Instead, he spat it out. However, Elder Yu did not pay attention to this at all. In his opinion, Dong Jun had no need to spit out wine. He was also very happy today, so he drank to his heart's content. Good brother, it's good to hear your words. Let's continue drinking. Elder Yu raised his wine glass and toasted Dong Jun again. Then, when he was about to pour the wine, he found that the bottom of the bottle was already empty. There was no more wine. He looked at it with drunken eyes and finally confirmed that there was not a single drop of wine left, so he said, "Brother Liang, wait for me. I'll get another bottle of wine." "Wait for me, no need, I'll go. I'm about to finish this bottle." How can a younger brother let an older brother take the wine? Dong Jun smiled slightly, stood up, and staggered to get the wine. However, he was delighted in his heart. It seems that Elder Yu is already drunk, and he is already very confused. He even looks at the wine bottle for a long time to see if there is any wine in it. This is a good time for me to make a move. Okay, then you go. I haven't had such a refreshing drink for a long time. It's so refreshing, said Elder Yu. Dong Jun took 2 bottles of white wine from the shelf, then walked to Elder Yu. He opened a bottle first and said to Elder Yu, "Elder Yu, come. Little brother will pour you a glass of wine first." Okay. Elder Yu raised his wine glass in a daze. He did not even look into the wine glass. It had to be said that although he was cautious, he was smart all his life but stupid at this moment. For Dong Jun, it was his biggest mistake to not guard against him from the beginning. Dong Jun quietly poured wine for Elder Yu. Then, according to the method Lon Ling taught him, he quickly put the quick cicada voodoo into Elder Yu's wine glass. Dong Jun did this kind of little trick very smoothly without any hesitation. Not to mention that Elder Yu was now drunk. Even if he was not drunk, he might not be able to see Dong Jun's method. Just like before, Dong Jun did not drink so much wine at all, and Elder Yu could not see it. Dong Jun poured wine for Elder Yu. When he returned to his seat, he picked up his wine glass. The wine glass was filled with the wine that had been poured before. Before he decided to carry out this plan and went to get wine for Elder Yu, Dong Jun had already filled his wine glass first. The purpose was to drink with Elder Yu immediately after pouring wine for him, so that Elder Yu would not see the quick cicada voodoo in the wine glass for a long time. Although Elder Yu's current vision basically could not see it, some things were better to be careful. If Elder Yu discovered that there was something in the wine glass, then the loss outweighed the gain. This was Dong Jun's and Yang Ming's last chance. Dong Jun could not waste it. Although his heart was very nervous at this moment, he also had the confidence to complete it. Elder Yu, come. Let's continue to toast. Dong Jun put the white wine in his hand on the table, then picked up his glass and said to Elder Yu. Okay, cheers. Oh. I need to pee. Wait for me to go to the toilet first. Elder Yu just wanted to drink, but he suddenly felt the urge to pee, so he was about to go to the toilet. So, he just raised his hand and put it down again. Oh. Chapter 22:12. Dong Jun's face suddenly changed. Not good. If Elder Yu went to the toilet, he would probably wash his face before he came back. If he woke up and found the quick cicada goo in the wine glass, it would not be fun. Although Dong Jun could catch the quick cicada goo again when Elder Yu went to the toilet, wait for the opportunity, and wait for Elder Yu to come back. Then, he could put the quick cicada goo into Elder Yu's wine cup again. However, at that time, let's not talk about whether there would be a chance. If Elder Yu woke up, he might miss this opportunity today. Dong Jun didn't want to lose this opportunity. If he lost this opportunity, he didn't know when he could do it again in the future, so Dong Jun decided to fight for it again. He held the wine glass and said, Elder Yu, since you have already picked it up, then finish this glass of wine. After drinking, we will go to the toilet together. It just so happens that I want to go too. All right. Elder Yu was anxious to go to the toilet, so he picked up the wine glass and gestured with Dong Jun. Then, he drank it in one gulp without even clinking glasses. Dong Jun watched Elder Yu drink the wine glass in his hand in one gulp, and suddenly there was a relaxed smile on his face. He also picked up the wine glass and drank it in one gulp, but this time, Dong Jun did not spit out the wine again. Instead, he drank all of it because he was very excited. The plan finally succeeded. The stone in his heart was also dropped. Although there were some unforeseen events, fortunately, everything was more daunting than dangerous. Dong Jun stood up with a smile and said, Let's go, Elder Yu. Let's go to the toilet together, oh, let's go. The quick cicada goo had just been swallowed, and it had not acted up yet, so Elder Yu did not feel anything strange at the moment. However, it was reasonable to say that Elder Yu was a person who was very proficient in voodoo. If he drank the quick cicada goo normally, even if he was not familiar with the attributes of the quick cicada goo, he would definitely find something unusual. However, at this moment, because he was too drunk, he did not feel anything strange at all. The task given by Yang Ming was finally completed. Dong Jun's heart was relieved. Elder Yu was solved, so Yang Ming had the intention to help him deal with Central. Dong Jun smiled slightly, walked out of the room with Elder Yu, and went to the outdoor toilet. After going to the toilet, it was probably the quick cicada voodoo in Elder Yu's body. Elder Yu pulled up his pants, but there was a trace of confusion in his eyes. He turned to look at Dong Jun and was slightly stunned. Why am I here? Falcon. Why are you here? What are we doing here? Dong Jun was slightly stunned by Elder Yu's question, but Dong Jun suddenly thought of the situation that Yang Ming told him before that would happen after the quick cicada voodoo flared up. He was overjoyed. It seemed that the quick cicada voodoo in Elder Yu's body had already taken effect. Otherwise, he wouldn't have this situation where he just came out to the toilet and forgot about it. As a matter of fact, this quick cicada goo was a mature quick cicada goo. When it was in Lin Dongfang's body, Lin Dongfang often forgot things after he finished speaking. Not to mention that this quick cicada goo was taken out of Lin Dongfang's body by Yang Ming and raised for so long. Therefore, it was reasonable for Elder Yu to have such a situation now. It was not surprising. Elder Yu, did you drink too much? We were drinking just now. You wanted to go to the toilet, so I accompanied you, said Dong Jun. Oh, yes, yes. Let's go. Let's go back and continue drinking. Although Elder Yu said so, he thought in his heart, really? Why don't I remember it? But now, he was indeed in a daze. Moreover, his body reeked of alcohol. It seemed that what Dong Jun said was true. He had drunk too much today. He was a little dizzy. Shaking his head, Elder Yu and Dong Jun returned to the previous room together. The two poured wine again and drank. This time, Elder Yu was really drunk after drinking a few glasses. He lay on the table and fell asleep. Although Dong Jun also drank a few glasses of wine, it was simply too little compared to Elder Yu. His alcohol tolerance was not bad. His previous drunkenness was completely faked for Elder Yu to see. Whew! Dong Jun breathed a sigh of relief. It's done. Looking at the banquet on the table and the unconscious Elder Yu, Dong Jun sighed slightly. How powerful is Elder Yu? In the end, he was actually dealt with by a small quick cicada goo. It's really fate. The most ridiculous thing is that he was dealt with by a master thief who didn't know any martial arts or any voodoo. If Elder Yu knew the truth, would he die of anger? At this point, the relationship between Dong Jun and Elder Yu had come to an end. Today's banquet would be their last banquet. In the future, similar things would never happen again. The remaining thing was to meet up with Yang Ming. Dong Jun stood up, walked to the window, and looked out. It was already night, but Dong Jun didn't want to delay. He was going to wait. In a while, when the sky was bright, he would fly the helicopter to the Medicine Valley. If he waited for Elder Yu to wake up, Elder Yu's Miao village would definitely be in chaos. At that time, Dong Jun wouldn't be able to escape even if he wanted to. Although Dong Jun's Qinggong was powerful, his martial arts were not good enough. Under the siege of so many people, he wasn't sure if he could escape unscathed. So Dong Jun turned and returned to the previous seat, closed his eyes slightly, and began to close his eyes to rest. Time passed by minute. Dong Jun was a patient person. He had received professional training when he was in the center. If he didn't have patience, it was impossible to endure for so long in Songjiang City. But at this moment, Dong Jun was still a little impatient. He wanted to leave here as soon as possible. He didn't want to wait for a moment. Finally, Dong Jun endured the most difficult few hours. The sky was bright. Obviously, it was dawn. Dong Jun glanced at Elder Yu. He was still sleeping very soundly. There was no sign of him waking up at all. Dong Jun suddenly felt a lot more at ease in his heart. Dong Jun tidied up his clothes and walked out of the room quickly. He shouted as he walked, "Little Tactician. Is Little Tactician here?" Not long after, Little Tactician hurriedly ran out of a room not far away. Obviously, he was sleeping just now, but he was woken up by Dong Jun. "Mr. Falcon, are you looking for me?" Although Little Tactician's sleep was disturbed, there was no unpleasant expression on his face. He ran over and asked respectfully. "And the helicopter is ready. I'm going to the Medicine Valley again to build a relationship with Yang Ming. Moreover, I was drinking with Elder Yu before. We talked about a good idea. I can't wait to test it, said Dong Jun. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.